Hello, I'm Clint. This is session 4 of the seasonal art campaign, and this is...
Yui if you are, also known as Yui, played by Gregory.
I am Karnan, a human fighter, played by David.
I'm Kevin, and I play Domino, the well-aged human fighter.
like a fine wine or a
Yes.
strip of beef jerky.
/ monk, now.
I'm Chase. I play Kanathar, the human fighter.
I'm Andrew. I play Uriel, the human fighter.
I'm Jacob, and I'm playing Turok the Barbarian. No, I forgot. What am I called? Goliath. Fighter. He's not a barbarian. He's a tribesman.
He's the tribesman.
And I'm Kyle. I'm playing Cassius, the swashbuckling rogue ranger.
Alright, first things first. Chase, you have a little bit of schmutz on your lip.
Ah,
Well done. Next thing, who wants to do the recap for last time?
Dave.
Karnan was not with us last time,
Dave's not here. Man.
so I guess I'll start it off. We had... I don't remember, damn it.
Well, we had to meet. You guys came back from the game, and we did all the meetings, and then
I was here last.
we had to go get
Kendara
the guy,
and Herbert.
Herbert
Herbert, to
Kanto.
make, and then we were going to meet Kandara, and Kyle went to make sure that Kandara was okay with Herbert coming, even though we already told him he could come.
But we didn't tell
Yeah,
her
we-
he was coming.
Yeah, we never checked that beforehand, so we had to make sure that was kosher.
Then we left, did some traveling, then we got ambushed. It was awesome.
Yeah. And Herbert shit his pants.
We made it to the font.
And then we
No,
got
did Herbert shit his pants, or was that just me?
That was just you.
Oh.
So yeah, it wasn't a mutual thing. I didn't have anyone. I didn't have a shit brother.
You guys have like a shit pants telepathy or something like that.
And then we made it to the Font of Shadows,
Yes,
which
we
is
did.
basically like a completely sealed, smooth black stone, similar to the city that we've inhabited. After leaving there, we had a dream about some sort of prophetic dream suggesting maybe the gods are asleep inside the font somehow.
The god of winter, specifically.
Yeah.
The god of endless winter.
And then we figured out we need to get all the relics and attack the thing.
Yes.
Bang on it.
Giant
Yes,
Megazord.
some things Turok said inspired Herbert to float the idea that maybe you could use the artifacts made from the dead gods to crack open the font and heal the god of winter. That was kind of where we left things.
Yeah.
So, it's the next day, which means it's the 11th of 11th month, 4032 DOS. It's about 6 in the evening. You guys are in the midst of heading to the ancestral lands of the Octung tribe near Millen. The other part of your quest being to lay Kandara's tribe to rest after they died in a razor storm by the font. Specifically, I have the map somewhere around here. It's square N26. You're just finishing up your daily rest period, avoiding the hottest part of the day. The whole journey to N26 will be about 350 miles. Take about 18 days total. You're in the middle of day 1, having just finished your rest period. Your party has about 61 days worth of food and water supplies left for everyone. So you got plenty of food. Herbert, you guys are well aware that the desert has been rough on him. He looks like I think I said last time, looks like he's aged about 5 years just from the journey to the font, being outside the city. He's still looking rough, but he's making do with his cane. He's riding on the wagons. Kandara still looks a little ragged around the edges and hasn't really said much since you guys left the font. If you remember, she just kind of went emotionally nuts when you guys found the mass grave outside of the font and excavated the bodies and put them in sealed coffins and that sort of thing. She looks ragged and has been quiet, but she hasn't been spending like every rest period just sobbing in her wagon, you know. Looking at her eyes are puffy and red and that sort of thing, but your gut instincts say she's more mad than sad at this point. During your rest period, whoever held the watches noticed that Herbert didn't do much sleeping. This isn't precisely new information. You guys have spent many days traveling with him. You know that he generally doesn't get much sleep. Maybe it's just because he's old. Maybe it's just because he's uncomfortable sleeping in the desert. You don't know.
Is everyone okay with me being on the watch? Can I role play that out a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch with you.
Okay, yeah, I guess on one of those nights, whatever, when you decide is right, I'd like to. I'm assuming we all fairly easily notice that he's restless.
Yeah.
Herbert, you all right?
You notice that on this particular rest period, the thing that's got him up is he has this massive tome on his lap, like this book of, like it's a big leather-bound book, and it's got notations, scrawled maps, scrawled pictures and stuff. The tome is almost like the size of his torso, and he's a tall, skinny guy, so it's a big, massive book, like anime weapon large. And just like approaching him in a casual inspection of it, it's not like just bound pages. It's like someone's notes, like pages here, like in this spot, a little marker here to indicate this spot with a little symbol noting something. Like it's
Books within books.
It's books within books, and it's not all like fresh new information. Like some of it's like ancient parchment slid here, and he's got a writing pad on his leg, and he's got like ink, and he's writing things down, and like looks like he's collating information and organizing it and stuff.
Doing some light reading here.
These are my notes about the various artifacts of Yofka. I'm organizing them. Well, this tome represents my life's work of identifying the artifacts and trying to find their locations in preparation for this quest that we were on, though that quest has somewhat changed since the events of the font. These, he holds he kind of gestures to the pad of paper, and you can see that there's several sheafs that have already been flipped over. It's kind of like a spiral notebook kind of thing, like he's flipped over pages and he's been writing things. These are my notes about the various artifacts of Yofka, ideas about their location and functionality, and whether or not they're real. After our discussion at the font, I have ideas about how we should proceed to enter the font and heal the god, and I'm trying to organize this information for me so that I can speak about it at a later time, so that we have a plan or an idea, a kernel of an idea that we can form a plan.
Seems like you're well prepared.
I try to be.
That's good. That's good. You've been with us for a few days. Clearly, we could use some thinking minds.
It's not.
A lot of us like to go blades first.
Well, in the desert, the blades do come in handy, much more than the notebook sometimes.
Well, hopefully our blades can protect your notebook, and maybe the other way around even.
That is the central idea of our agreement.
Agreed. Well, I hope we can eventually find what you're looking for as well. Really think we can get into the Fauna Shadows?
I have no idea. But I'm sure it will be an interesting quest discovering how.
It's quite an amazing sight, isn't it?
It is.
Awe-inspiring, and I'm usually not one for legends or fairy tales.
I wouldn't call it awe-inspiring. I've lived in Wasp all my life, and it's basically Wasp with a lid.
True enough.
But there is a certain ambiance to the font that the cities lack. Perhaps it's the nastiness of the desert around it, the hostility of the surrounding area, and the font sitting there as timeless as the cities amid all this devastation and destruction. It has a character to it that the cities lack.
That is true. It's always puts you on edge knowing a husk could be around the corner at any minute.
That's true, and it's weird that you say that because a perception check reveals you hear shuffling, scrabbling steps on the rocks around you. Actually, I probably should have showed you the map.
I ready my
It's probably just rock hopping.
I ready my staff.
I would be on the opposite side of the caravan from Domino if he's unwatch that side. I'll watch the other.
So there's the. Feel free to arrange yourselves however you would arrange yourselves for camp.
Where are we hearing the shuffling from?
All around
Where
you.
Oh,
would you be?
All
Kevin?
around us.
All around us. That's always.
I would be within
That's
the
my
caravan, but toward
favorite
the
way
front,
to
maybe
hear
between
noises.
2 and 3.
Listen, like
So
here.
right there.
Surrounds.
One right.
People pay a lot
I'd
of
be
money
the
to hear things
north-
all around them.
What's
Sorry. One west. One east. Right
West.
there. Yes. Perfect.
Okay. Husk. Turok, would you like to be anywhere specific?
That could not have
That's
worked out
fine
better,
right there.
Kevin.
That looks like we're at
Is Herber anywhere specific? Or I was by him.
I thought he
Where
was
do you guys
asleep.
want him?
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll say I was talking to Herber.
Probably by
Cassius?
I would say
I would be
probably
if you're watching this side. I'll probably be at the down here, like right there.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Canathar?
I'm
So I think we
assuming
should
I'm
do
asleep.
Wherever, man.
You real?
Wherever, man.
Kind of off. Like I think when we do watch, I think we should have at least 2.
Is Dave's
When you two
guy
leveled
on
up,
here?
did you add anything
might
to
not have
dexterity
put
or
it
wisdom?
No.
Is Dave's character
Charisma
on there?
and my
Yeah, I think we're
strength
missing-
maybe. But
Hey, Clint, is Carmen on there?
I think we're missing Carney.
Oh, yes, we are.
did he ask you previously?
Carnan died.
Do I need to be asleep? Is that?
Oh, you might want to tell him.
You don't need to be
I
asleep.
think it counts towards your
You guys heard
initiation.
like Domhnall and maybe Cassius heard these guys coming. So
I'll do my thing I always do. 2 arms!
2 arms.
Clint, Jacob has a dark secret that he's holding from you.
he's not actually a liar. He's a horse.
I plus 1.
You plus 1. Like you changed the modifier by 1.
Yes.
To
Okay.
the
So
Western
what is it
Union.
now? Like plus
Plus 4, I believe.
Plus 4.
I think it's
that's
an 18 or
Yeah.
yes, it's an 18.
What's your wisdom bonus?
My wisdom is plus 2. And my intelligence is
I was
plus
trying
1.
the other one.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Yep.
Thanks.
Just so as we're clear, Clint. And we're okay with me using the
No,
range
we
or revised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no big thing.
I ask because it changes your favorite enemies. And
Yeah.
Oh, that whatnot.
So,
Turns out your favorite enemies
who's
are
inside of the
husks.
caravan?
humanoids actually.
All
Which
of
are husks.
Kandar's family.
Oh, so the husks coming from the
Or husks are. Which husks are?
Us coming from, yeah, it looks like.
that we are coming. No worries.
Puppy, puppy, puppy.
They look better on the base.
You put hand axes on it once you throw them.
down there?
It's a
Oh,
house.
shit.
Oh.
Maybe I want to.
Was it doing the weird thing?
Are they super
No,
duper
just
strong?
me.
Do we
I
know?
was not prepared
I like
with
that.
initiative again.
I
They
like
look like
that
they're decaying.
instead of. I like that we're playing Oregon Trail, but instead of getting dysentery, we get attacked by random husks.
Oh, that does not look pleasant. I'm
You know
zoomed
what?
in on a husk. That does not look. Nuh-uh. Nope.
That looks
Andrew.
good.
Looks good.
That's a hard pass.
Chase.
Weaponized.
Oh.
Do we know if they're like super
I knew
fast
that.
or something?
You were sitting
Or
here.
like super strong?
Once I get initiative figured out,
were you
I
gonna ask
will
me?
do some description stuff that will make that abundantly clear.
To kind of describe what we're seeing on the map
tastes
for
like-
those
If
watching
you
on the
picture
camera,
alcoholic Mountain Dew, it's that.
it looks like the kid from The Grudge with his skin flayed off.
It's exactly.
Mine's my
If you think Mountain Dew with alcohol in it, it's
Greg,
exactly.
I don't want to break your heart, but this is a little strong of an
It's
IPA
less
for me.
appetizing now.
Did
What
you
is it?
drink Too Hearted
All
last
day.
time?
That's all day.
Yeah.
IPA.
Yeah.
This is all
Less
day.
strong.
It's more mild than.
No, it's
All
not.
day. No.
Then Too Hard-
I would say it's
Too
not
Two-hearted
more
is
mild.
gross. All day is
And,
gross.
and Two-Hearted was a little hard.
You guys
Two-Hearted
ready?
was a little hard to drink as well.
So all day is a session IPA that's designed to be drank all day, whereas Two Hearted is 11% alcohol by volume.
I still think 2 Hearted is smoother.
Well, it might be, but it's not a session IPA. It's not meant to be drank all day.
I'm just.
He said strong.
No, I'm no like bitter.
Oh,
Yeah.
like the
Have you
IBUs.
Yeah.
it's more
Gotcha.
IPA tasting,
Yes.
Have you guys had
which is gross.
yes.
Hopsland?
Yes.
Oh.
Whoever invented
You
IPAs.
can actually buy pony, like
Yes.
the mini
Seven.
kegs of it.
like 2 sips. And that's all I could handle.
Yeah, yes, you
Cool.
did.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Just buy me whatever 6-pack you want
I
to
don't-
drink
I
next
don't
time.
Right.
No,
it's
I'm
just
I'm
humanoids
not
in general.
saying that your beer's not good enough.
I
for
thought
me.
you had.
I'm saying
I
I'm sorry,
Judge
but I
humanoid,
can't
yeah.
drink your
Turns
beer.
out.
I've
I'm
never,
just
On the new
I will
one,
finish
it's
yours if
I've
you
humanoids
never
in general.
had the
I just
feeling of.
figured
Well,
because this one
It's
have
mostly
glads and
there.
humans.
So.
I've never
I
had
had
the
like 2
question of what
sips of it.
alcoholic Mountain Dew would taste like, but
That's exactly it though. It's almost medicinal a little bit.
Is it like
Well,
a
that's
good
their-
taste, or is it?
Yeah,
like,
it tastes like Mountain Dew, and then there's a little bit of booziness.
So their ginger
they did
ale
that
one
because
does not
the
taste like a
anatomy's
7 and
mostly the
7
same.
like
I
I
think
thought
there's
it
one
would
left.
because
Yeah.
it is literally like
Isn't that fruit?
beer.
Yeah. It's either in
Like
the door or
ginger
on the
beer.
floor.
Okay, so these 3 husks up here, they're kind of like they look kind of unfocused, like they're kind of just like kind of stumbling and scrabbling over the rocks, kind of like sniffing the air. They look like rotten jerky stretched over broken bones. What clothes they wear are tattered and torn. Their eyes are these like foggy white orbs. Their teeth are blackened little chiclets that are cracked and stubbed. And kind of shuffling and stumbling over these rocks. They look clumsy, as they you guys are still in the font area, so there are volcanic vents and sharp rocks and stuff, and they look clumsy as they kind of scrabble over them. But as they kind of crest these rocks and see you guys, they don't really see you. Like their eyes don't fixate on you. And then, like, almost in unison, the 3 of them start looking at you guys, and suddenly they're much more animated. They're much more, like, predatory. They go from looking like cadavers to
Raptors.
yeah. There you go. That's good. So, Karnan has no studs. Uriel
Has no studs.
Andrew, does Uriel have any studs?
I think I gave them to someone. Maybe not though.
Yes.
Okay.
I do not have any studs.
And Yui does not have any studs.
They didn't mind the Cassius.
Okay. So that means Herbert has 3, Turok has 2, Cassius has 1, Domino has 2, and Kendall has 1.
Do they like studs more? Is that what that is?
That's not a thing I was applying.
I don't like
Protect
that. I have
Herbert!
a lot of studs.
So all of a sudden they go from this clumsy stumbling like
Plus 2
Damn it.
damage.
to loping towards you guys.
Are they slightly faster? Or are they still pretty damn slow?
I was in the wrong one.
They don't appear to be moving super fast, but you know from rumor and history that husks often have the ability to teleport.
Oh, better.
Short distances, but yes.
Better. That's even better.
Cassius is up.
Okay. Alrighty. So, if they're obviously attacking us, I'm going to take a shot with my short bow
Okay.
at the one furthest north east. And
This guy here on the rocks.
Yep.
Okay.
I have advantage.
Notice
on him
Clint,
for-
this helps me a lot. I put
He hasn't taken
this
an action.
this handy compass up in the top corner here.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
I use that every time because I'm looking at the map upside down. I'm like,
Nice.
okay, that's the direction they're talking about.
What are you doing?
I shot him with my bow. I got a crit.
Okay.
Nice. That's good.
6, 10, and I get +2 for he hasn't acted yet.
Okay.
Or no, is he a humanoid?
More undead than humanoid.
So then no, I wouldn't get the +2.
So it's a short bow, so it would be 9 plus dex damage.
It'd be 10. I got 10 damage total. That's what I got. And I'm gonna move on top of the wagon.
This
you
one?
said
Yep.
10 damage total.
Where'd you like to move that? Anywhere
Just
specific?
right up on the top corner there, kind of like a.
You get a pretty good hit on it. It basically just tears through its chest. Arrow
Okay.
goes, it's a through and through. No reaction from the husk whatsoever.
I got it.
Okay.
You have game science studies in
Yui,
I think Yui's alright.
Yui's up.
Alright. So I'm going to slide 1 west, and I'm gonna throw a dagger.
Where is?
Left, right down, step, what?
This
Right
is right in the middle of the caravan.
Okay,
there.
You're gonna take one
Step.
step west.
1 west, and between the
Throw it at him.
yep, and yeah, you just roll.
Make a ranged dexterity check.
Wow.
had any longbows when you were attacking
Oh,
last
Okay,
time.
so it's gonna be
I don't think so.
plus your dex attack, so dex modifier plus your
Just making sure.
proficiency, so
So I'm proficient in them now, so I'll obviously try to.
so it'd be plus 6, so 12.
That does not hit.
Bongo.
Arrow flies, or the dagger flies wide.
It's okay. He has 28 more.
It's okay. Domino's up.
Okay. Domino kind of rolls his shoulders, loosens up a little bit, and rushes toward. No, he doesn't. He reaches inside his gi and pulls his magic missile tunic. Or stud.
No, fuck.
God damn it, really?
Yeah.
You are poisoned.
Okay.
Disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. At the end of each of your turns, make a Constitution saving throw. Success ends the effect.
Okay. So do I still get the spell off or no?
Yeah, the spell works fine.
Okay, so that's.
I would honestly love
You're just fucked up.
if he spent the first round of every combat stretching.
And I'll hit that first husk with all 3 bolts.
The one that, which one?
The one
Well, people
directly to
fighting
the
plus
north of me.
one,
Oh,
yeah,
this one.
Alright.
And that is 13 damage.
Alright, it's the husk's turn.
Attack rolls.
The husk that you just hit with magic missile
Yes.
teleports to be on top of the wagon
Oh,
as a bonus action.
oh shit. I may have fucked up.
Do you have batteries? 'Cause
teleports
this is,
there?
Yeah,
Is it
they
freaking
have
out?
to take a teleport.
yeah, it's not really.
Oh.
Sometimes.
I might not have that.
Okay.
So we saw him use magic missile on the
What
teleport.
type of batteries does it take?
Don't use matter.
Don't use the
Let's
studs.
test it.
Ooh.
AAA.
Hey.
Everyone cast their magic.
That's true.
Most of it's healing.
There you go.
I do believe they have shed.
Those are new batteries from work.
I don't think it's.
You don't think it's the
It might-
batteries?
No, it shouldn't be. Those are brand new.
The mouse stopped working.
Technically.
Well, you're more than welcome to try that
See,
one.
that's why you use them played.
Son of a biscuit eating fool.
None of the batteries, none of the problems.
Oh god.
Not my jam, not my problem.
But I always say,
Yee.
It could just be the receiver's too far away.
Okay, it should not be working at all right now. I'm gonna move the receiver to a closer USB port,
and that should have
like Dave suggested.
Ah, yes.
should have a
Okay.
better range than Bluetooth.
It was a $12 keyboard.
It's
So,
going through the table.
it's not
And
a
mouse.
steel nor lead
$12
cable,
keyboard mouse combo.
but I get it, but just talking about ranges
Yeah,
here.
that's a lot better. Alright, so this husk teleports up on the wagon, and the second it gets near Herber, it starts letting out this ear-shattering howl.
That's not great. I think that's gonna track more us.
And
He's
then
gonna die! Ah!
That's probably gonna track more us.
There's only 3 of them.
Oh,
we
I
can
didn't
take them
think
down.
about that, Dave.
It's going to attract more us.
Possibly.
it's really you should say that, Dave.
What do you mean, Clint?
It's
Pretty
almost
sure
as if
that's
that's
the-
what he's doing right
That's
now.
in the DM Bible right there. Funny you should say that.
It actually, in the beginning, it
He
says.
zooms out so we can see all the
in
husks.
the beginning of the becoming a DM book, it says, "Let your players
Another
be
husk
paranoid."
clambers over the rocks.
Paranoid destroy them.
So this husk takes a swipe at Herber.
Sounds hard.
Guys, if he hits her, was probably dead.
He has 6 hit points.
Yes.
Still.
He's gonna miss anyways, right? Right, guys?
You have 6.
I don't. Herbert does.
Dave, are you next to him?
So it lashes out with one of its claws, and you can see that the claw
that?
just kind of stops as it approaches Herber, and you can see that his body is armored in like sparking like layers of magical force.
Oh yeah, because didn't he only have like 4 health?
His six.
Yeah.
Then the other claw swipes in and gets a 20-something to hit.
He's dead.
We don't know that.
And
Find it.
Herber takes 6 hit points. Herber's down. He's at 0 hit points. The way I do things with NPCs is like the important ones like Kandara, Metris, and Herber. they get treated just like you guys when they get to 0 points, which means
He's gonna make death saves.
death saves. Kind of faceless NPCs,
Like the cousins.
like the cousins, like random NPCs in the cities. They just die at 0, just like enemies do.
Okay.
Great.
So Herbert's down,
But he's not dead.
and he lets out a pretty loud scream for an old man.
Great.
Before he passes out. He doesn't quite fall off the wagon, but he's kind of hanging like half off, like
All right. Yeah, that's really great.
So that's like critical character.
Oh shit! What did I just do?
So maybe not use your magic on them.
Apparently I just closed roll 20.
Nice.
Was it a tab?
Yeah, you
Was
you
it
disconnected.
incognito?
You disconnected from it.
You can do like Control Shift T to
If
open
it's
up the
not
latch.
incognito. I'm pretty sure he's using incognito mode.
Yeah, just because it's set to
He doesn't want
Kevin's.
The
Donald
FBI
Trump
watching him.
tracking his every move.
Well, no, it's my computer, so.
Doesn't matter. The government tracks everything, man.
Oh yeah.
That's why you use private mode, because then the government can't track anything.
Yeah.
Until one day you forget
Because
to
you
use
wouldn't
it.
want the government to know you're watching porn.
So this husk right here
Which one?
That's who
Yes,
I worry
okay.
about finding that porn.
teleports into the midair above Karnan,
Jesus Christ.
That's the thing.
and it
That's a terrible
drops down
thing
on
to do.
him. Karnan gets a free attack against it with advantage.
Okay.
Do it,
What
Carmen.
does it do to me?
Hit that
You'll
motherfucker.
find out in a moment.
It's probably just not very accurate.
Yeah, you're just gonna kill it outright.
17
Ooh.
to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Max damage 12.
12 damage.
Welcome back, Dave.
But then it comes crashing down on him.
Oh. Sorry. Sorry. Wrong guy. I looked at my hand axe. That's 13 damage.
Okay.
Even better. Welcome back, Dave.
Make a strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics check for me. Whichever is better.
Okay, so it's probably gonna be actually athletics.
I'm more than that.
13.
20. It crashes into you, takes a little bit of damage for crashing down on you,
Let-
and carries you right to the ground. You're now prone.
Let me read Shield Master real quick, because I think there's a thing with blocking.
Okay.
I just took it, so let me read it. I could be completely wrong, but I apologize for being unprepared for the
You're
husk
so wrong.
teleporting on top of me.
Oh, I'm next. After the husks.
Okay, so it's not a thing unless I'm
I think it's if you're attacking, right?
no. It's if I'm subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw to only take half damage.
Throw with your hands.
But I failed the throw, so it doesn't matter.
Alright. You're prone. It's on
Okay.
top of you. You take 3 damage from it landing on top of you and shattering, taking you to the ground, but it also takes 3 damage.
Okay.
That was the one that was right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then where is the next one?
Is that with the hot sauce in northeast? I'll try it as well.
Do you know, Clint, if there's a way to like have individuals like be all part of the same initiative?
No. I do
I'm
not.
scared.
Where is Turok? Okay. This husk teleports right over to Turok.
Above me or to
Did
me?
you say I'm prone?
Yeah, you're prone.
Okay.
That means it's gonna take half your movement to stand back up.
Take an athlete.
It slashes at Turok with 2 claws and at most gets a 13.
Yay! It missed.
Okay. Alright. So that is the 2 husks.
There's one more, I believe.
Yeah, but his round was appearing.
Oh, sweet.
The assumption being that he's been clambering over the rocks and his turn was spent coming into your
I
group.
love it.
Turok's turn.
Turok is gonna use Create Bonfire on the husk right next to me.
Okay. What does Create Bonfire do?
So it creates a bonfire in a 5-foot space, and a creature within that has to make a dex save or take a d8 of fire damage. Also,
13 spell DC should be like 19, so that doesn't save.
good. Did I do the stud thing?
Oh yeah.
What if it's
I
like
thought you were
really
actually
good?
like Flint.
He's making a bonfire.
It's unconventional, but sometimes that works in the desert. What do we got? We got 35. 35. Everything works fine.
Yay!
Everything is normal. This is normal.
All right. Well, they take 4 fire damage.
4 fire damage.
Now they're on fire. In fire.
Are you or you?
All right, that it?
And then I'm gonna move towards the guy that died. As far as I can, Herbert. Yep.
That means he gets an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Why not?
25.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Takes 6 slashing damage.
That's fine.
Manages to get you with a claw.
He's also on fire. Do I take fire? No.
Yep. Or, Uriel.
Our ruling on flanking this one is like you have to be the complete opposite, then you gain
Opposite
advantage.
side.
All right. So I'm gonna go on the other side of Turok on that husk then.
I moved away just now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
As far I moved towards
As
Herbert.
far as he could toward
Wow.
Herbert.
You got him? Oh,
Yeah,
that fucked up.
I guess I'll
1,
just-
2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll still fight that husk. I'll just put me up next to it.
Got it. Okay.
$18 to hit,
Hits.
and then 10 damage.
10 damage. Nice. Their AC is 14, by the way, so get them over a 14. A 14 or higher yet.
Good to know.
Unless you want to do anything else.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Kandara. Kandara, what are your stats? Kandara draws a dagger, and she's on top of the wagon with Herbert. She kind of tries to shield Herbert and takes a stab at the husk that's right there. And she gets a 13. That misses. Okay. She yells out, Jemba, Akka, Nemba. Take out the husk. So the 3 cousins, whose names I totally didn't forget just now, draw their short bows and try to take out that husk that's standing over Herbert. One of them hits. It takes 6 piercing damage. And then it is Metros' turn. Metros tries to assist Uriel.
Yeah.
Takes a swipe for a 20, I think, to hit. Yeah, 21 to hit. He deals 8 slashing damage with his longsword to that husk.
Fuck your shit up, man.
Canathar.
I'm going to run here.
Okay.
Next to Karnan. Because it's still on top of him, right?
Yeah, it's.
Is it standing over him or?
Yeah,
I like to make sure it's like
it's it's like
I'm
crouched
prone,
on
so
his
he's
chest, like clawing
basically
at him.
Okay. I'm going to. These guys are like unarmed too, right? They're just using their
They're just
claws.
using. It's not even claws. It's like broken, blackened finger bones.
Okay.
Like where skin is torn
Okay.
away, and it's not clean.
are they sharpened?
Not like they ground them on stone, but like some of them are jagged bone.
Okay.
That's why they only do 1d4 damage.
So I hit that husk for 24 to hit, and then 11 slashing damage.
I'm gonna move Karnan over one for now, just so I can get at the husk. 11 slashing.
But I am still.
Yeah.
Underneath.
Okay. Good.
And
No,
Hold
really
back.
good.
Oh, good.
Anything else? What can I use as a bonus?
Disengage.
No. I think I'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Herbert succeeds on his first death saving throw,
Yay.
and now it is Karnan's turn.
Okay, so I'm going to stand up and move 1 square to the east.
Okay.
Still in his range, so he doesn't get attack of opportunity. I rolled a 21 to hit and did 8 damage. But I am also going to attempt to shove him away with my shield.
Okay.
So it's athletics against his athletics or dex. Athletics or acrobatics.
Right.
That's not great. So 14.
He gets a 12, so you shove him 5 feet away.
Nice.
Or I can knock him prone.
Yeah, that's an option too.
I'd like to do that thing.
Okay, he's prone.
Can I ask a legitimate question? Is there a difference between prone and supine in D&D?
There's no supine.
Yeah.
So you can't be on your back at all?
You
prone encompasses being on your back as well as being on your
Okay.
Yep.
face down.
That was just my question. I didn't know, like, supine, you stand up, your back is to the person that was just on you. So I wasn't sure. I just
Yeah,
wanted-
no.
Anything else for Karn?
No, that completes his turn.
Alright, Cassie.
Alrighty. I'm going to jump down and stab at him with my longs. The closest husk there.
Clint,
Okay.
2 more hit points off of him. I forgot I have dueling.
Okay.
Sorry.
I missed with the first one, but
Okay.
the second one I got a 17.
Okay.
So my offhand, I'm gonna apply my sneak attack damage to it, is 10, 14.
14.
And that is my turn. Actually, I'm going to spend the rest of my movement to go back up on the wagon.
I'll let you jump down from the wagon, but climbing up it.
Oh, I don't know it was a step up, but okay, then I'll
He's
just...
got...
No, the wagon's like up high. He's just saying that because I jumped down, it's an action to go up.
Do you have second story work, though? Isn't it... Oh, okay.
So I guess I'll move to the top corner of the wagon.
Here?
Next one up, yep. I'll move there.
Alright. Yui.
So, directly below me, is that a husk? I can't.
No, that's Turok.
Okay.
The husk is 2 below you.
So, if I move directly east of Turok, I have attack of opportunity, correct?
Nope.
Oh, because there's not somebody directly across
Yeah.
from me, even though Kanathar
Yeah.
is
Yep.
like right there. Okay, so can I still use sneak attack? It says you don't need advantage on the attack for sneak attack.
No,
As
you're
long as
fine
they're-
because
somebody's-
you have advantage with sneak attack because they're next to him.
Okay.
It's different for flanking.
Okay.
Yep.
So
You don't have advantage, but you can use sneak attack.
okay.
Yes.
That's
You
right.
get,
Way to
your,
look
get
at
your bonus damage.
So
Yeah, as long as one of your allies is within 5 feet of your
right,
target.
and that's I was trying to decipher all that.
That
I think.
applies to range damage too.
So 14, 16. I'm sorry because I'm gonna ask this again. I rolled a 14 plus 2 proficiency, and then my dex also, or
Yeah.
Yes.
okay. So that'd be I have a 20.
Okay, that hits.
Okay, it hits for let's see. Awesome.
Greg, when you use a clipboard, you can make a cheat sheet that tells you all those rolls.
Oh.
I have one.
I was gonna say, well, I'm going through like click,
Yeah.
minimize, click, minimize. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I got a 3 plus 1, so 4 damage.
4 damage.
Plus your sneak attack.
Just things that I commonly ask
That was
about.
plus my
I put
sneak
them on
attack.
so I don't have to ask.
4 damage it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1d4 plus 4, so I have 7, 8 damage.
That sounds more like
That sounds
pretty
better.
reduced down.
I was
Yeah.
like, damn, that was an
Pretty
awful
well.
roll.
Ignored the plus 4. I was like 1d4, and then my 1d6.
Pretty rookie
So-
stuff.
Yeah, but you're just helping me learn that.
Got it.
Okay, so is the husk still on the ground or is it up on top of Herbert?
It's on the wagon. Next to him.
Okay, do I make my, I can't remember, do I make a con save at the end of my turn or beginning?
For the poison.
It's end.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah, I'm not gonna get up on the wagon. That I'm going to try to shoot the husk. I'm going to shoot the husk again with magic missile. What happened?
Everything works fine.
Okay, 10 damage.
Oh man.
To the one that's by Herbert.
Yes.
Now I
Darts
move
of
and take
magical
another-
energy fly out and
And I say, we need someone that can heal.
Jacob's running.
On my way.
Yeah.
I have to take another attack of opportunity.
There you go, Damo.
Because I'm moving next. I think I'm moving next to that
I
one.
don't know where that went.
You have
I don't know
to
what
touch
it
the
hit.
with your.
Yes.
My
I gotta run my ass all the way over there. And get swung
Sounds
at.
like it hit that.
That's alright.
But I couldn't tell if it was
I
this
gotta
or
tell
Right
this.
here,
myself.
right in front of you, Kevin. Right on the
And then I'll
You see
probably
that.
die of
Oh, I see it.
radiation poisoning. Or
Yeah.
Kind of stole it away.
Thank you, Dave.
Is that it for Damo?
Yes, that is it for
no
Domino.
problem.
That's it for
Alright.
Hero Damo.
The husk
Wait, did you make the concept?
starts sniffing the
Oh,
air.
no, I didn't make my con save.
Oh yeah, please make the concept.
Natural 20, but that doesn't count for saves.
But still.
It's still pretty
It's
good
still
score.
20. That's above 10.
Still
so
pretty
24.
natural.
Okay. You succeed. You're no
Does that
longer
beat
poisoned. The husk by Herbert starts sniffing the air. And it teleports as a bonus action down to Domino.
Oh god!
Bring it, bitch.
And it lashes out with its claws. One is a 21,
No, yeah.
and the other is a 16.
That one just hits. Yeah.
So 2 claws slash out, and Domino takes 12 slashing damage.
Ugh.
Doesn't feel good.
Wow. That's pretty
Ugh.
tough to see.
The other husk that's kind of surrounded lashes out at Turok.
Oh man.
Gets a 19 and a 17.
One will hit.
All right.
Tough to see everyone.
You take 6 slashing damage.
One devour.
And this husk over here.
There's a magnet inside the iPad.
This husk over here starts sniffing the air, and it kind of looks. It doesn't really look, but it turns in Turok's direction.
No.
He's prepared.
Teleports to here, and then takes a step behind Turok. Now it has advantage on its claw attacks.
Son of a bitch.
He's my
23
Yeah.
and 11.
No.
So you take another 6 slashing damage.
Domino's buying a fireball instead.
I'm almost at half health.
I'm wondering if there's another way.
I can always heal
this.
myself.
Then this husk here
Since they can
on
only
the
see
rocks,
us by
that's
smell.
fresh arrival, starts sniffing the air.
How far
I
is
found a magnet in my iPad.
I could probably reach
Speaker?
Okay.
Yeah,
you might be good
probably.
at
Sniffs
here.
the air a little bit more,
I'm between two of them
and
now.
then starts running.
And he's now. I think there's a third one coming for me now.
And it lashes at Turok with 2 claws.
I don't think they like studs, guys.
It's a critical one. So the next attack on it has advantage.
I'm gonna hit that one.
And the other attack is 14.
That will not hit me.
Turok's turn.
All right, guys.
Do
We
like
got
the Super Saiyan thing where you
We
throw your
have-
fist to the ground and throw them.
You guys really need to.
Fist of Havoc.
Yes.
Is that a thing in this?
I really need to be able to tank these because they'll have trouble hitting me.
So the husk with the wrench on it has the next attack on it has advantage.
Champion.
No, which fighting style?
Okay.
Dueling.
Oh.
But 18 AC.
All right, so I'm gonna want to hit the one with advantage,
Tough to hit.
and I got
I don't know if you
a
choose
19
protection.
to hit,
That hits.
No. It was.
and then I have to roll my damage die.
Protection, I think you can impose your shield.
Well,
11 damage on the wrenchy one.
Yeah, protection I think gives your shields like +1.
And you
AC
know
or
what?
something.
Action surge. Fuck it.
You can impose
In the
your
shield middle of 3 of
on
them.
the enemy's attack.
Oh,
I
I
would.
can prevent damage against
Good call.
Well, 9 plus 6 to hit the one I already have advantage on. Right, because I get advantage from
Oh, it doesn't.
whatever that guy's name is.
Canathar.
Canathar, I could.
Okay.
And D10 again.
I don't even know my name.
I don't mean to keep clicking on
10.
and showing the
10
HP.
damage to that one. Ah! I knew it would kill it, but I wanted it to.
No, are these gonna be like jellies when you kill them and they split into two?
Probably.
Only sometimes. It depends on what studs they had when they were alive.
Oh, so these are all.
So do I
Oh,
can get
we
new
can
studs
get
here?
Studs off of these.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Dibs.
I gathered that, but they're.
Dibs. That just makes them want
Here
you
you go.
more. So the more you kill and take their studs, the more they want to kill
I'll
you.
move and join the husk party over here.
And that's party over there.
That you guys can all have.
You're like that.
There's a bonfire right there,
here?
just so
That was
Yeah.
canon before
And
the
then I have a
husks.
26 to hit.
Can we?
One right in
So
front
I
of
can
you.
say
you mark the
that I did not
bonfire?
make
Or
that
wait.
decision
I sure
based
can.
on these creatures.
Oh, right there,
Well,
so you have advantage.
Don't want to step on it.
I can't mark the bonfire, but
Alright. Is that the lowest health one?
Clint can.
Uh,
yeah, but it won't be
Not
be on the
remotely.
map. I don't think.
This one, the one next to it has the lowest health, I think.
Clint,
Or-
can you add the bonfire on the map?
No.
Okay.
Are either of these two looking damaged?
Can we just put
It's
some
hard to
red
tell
right there?
because they're all rotted in the first place,
Yeah.
and they don't really have blood leaking from them.
I
will-
protect the one.
They're all in varying forms of decay.
But this
can't
one,
die
or something.
Technically,
right there?
there's no bonfire
I meant
anymore.
something
that one
physical
yeah,
in our
is the most
world
damaged.
that you can set
Yeah, but then
down.
it doesn't move. with
If
the
you can
thing.
find a way over
Oh,
there.
Yeah.
I'll just
But
stay where I
since
am and I
moved it too
deal
much.
12 damage.
Where- where's the bonfire? Is it
Right
here?
there.
Anything else?
That looks like
Kandara's turn.
That's for sure fire.
Kandara, if I remember right, does she have word or? Kandara uses healing word.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
She uses healing word at 10th level.
I don't like this.
Right?
I can't wait.
Doesn't
She
she?
uses healing word with a third level spell slot.
Yes, Kandara.
Kandara.
I very much like how magic works in here.
And all of a sudden, Herbert. And he's in complete perfect health. All 6 hit points back.
Downroll kind of sees it. Back on your feet, Herbert.
Like someone who's got like adrenaline in them.
The cousins are up. They try to assist Domino. They see he's all the way over there by himself. A couple arrows fly out in support, and 2 miss.
Those guys
And
are
the third
awful.
hits. This husk over here takes 6 piercing damage from a short bow arrow. Bringing us to Metris's turn. Metris. Where is Metris? Where did I put him?
He's right here.
Oh,
Don't
he's
go
over
through the
there.
bonfire.
Oh, that's right.
Careful, Metris.
Oh.
I would like to note that there's no fuel there, so the fire is burned out.
It's magical, it doesn't need fuel.
It's in the
What is it?
spell description.
Metris takes the run action or whatever that lets him move another 30 feet. And he gets over here.
Double check that.
And then he takes his action surge
Fly.
and makes attack against the
That
husk
sounds important.
that is clustered
Is that
around
some
you all.
bonfire?
He gets
It's not in there.
sufficient
It's
to
in the
hit.
elemental evil handbook.
Takes a swipe with his longsword.
I know him.
Deals
I like
8
how-
slashing damage to this husk here.
That's kind of
I
why
don't mind
I'm
even
not
saying
always
anything like that.
And then it is
Oh,
Canathar's turn.
interesting.
I've got probably
You can
You're up,
on the
Canthar.
ground that you
probably
can see
$200
with your name.
in a D&D book, including the Pathfinder.
Chase.
It's probably concentration.
It's Canathar's turn.
I'm going to use.
Wait, I don't think we addressed this. How dank is Canathar right now? It
Oh,
was the
I'm
rest
good.
period.
I was probably sleeping.
That's true. Okay.
I'm
That's a
probably
fair
good.
point.
So you were super high.
Round 3 he wakes up.
Was he? Question: was he coming down still, or?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I'm saying
Proceed.
no. I'm gonna use as a bonus action, rally on Herbert.
Herbert's been healed completely.
It's a 10 HP.
Okay. I like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I think the duration is 1 minute, whether it has a combustible source or not.
I was
So
thinking of a
he
different spell.
Gains
That's
Can't work.
No, I just
12
I'm just, for future
temporary hit
reference,
points.
It'd be nice to know. I think it lasts for a minute.
All right.
And then, as my action, I will hit the husk in front of me with my longsword
Yeah, smite it.
for. Oh, I have advantage, don't I?
I don't know which one you are.
The one in front of you, yes, you have advantage on it.
Figured. Okay, well, I'm gonna take the 19 over the 1. And then plus 7, but it doesn't matter. It hits, right?
Wait, you put on
I don't crit on 19.
He's the battle master, not champion.
Yeah. And then it takes 11 damage again.
If you're champion.
11 damage.
Slashing, yeah.
The husk goes down.
Yeah.
You basically have hacked it apart, and it's not like it's not dead. It's just you've dismembered it enough that it cannot move successfully or be a threat to you.
But it's not.
Don't step in its mouth.
Herbert spends his round shaking violently, and gasping for air, and now it's Karnan's turn.
So, you got an 18 to hit.
20 hitting.
Oh, I'm sorry, there's 2. Or isn't there only 1 in my range now?
That one went
Yeah,
down, yeah, so you
It's
would
down?
be the next one. That's the one you just knocked
Oh,
out. Yeah.
Yeah, you basically
Oh,
cut
yeah.
the last little
Oh,
bits
yeah,
of it
yeah.
apart.
You done moited it.
Just, so I gotta move to another one?
Nope, there's one right here.
There's
Okay,
one
bud.
directly
Well,
north of
I'll
you.
hit that one.
But you can
so
shift and get advantage.
I'd hit
That is true. Yeah, you can shift over here and then.
I already rolled for advantage, so I have to do that.
Good call.
Oh, okay.
Who are you attacking?
That one right there.
That's Yui.
So that's Yui.
Bitch.
This
Why,
one.
why does Yui look
Well,
just like a husk?
My
I was
my,
wondering the same thing earlier.
my second roll was not higher than my first one, so I'll move to whatever husk I can hit. I don't need advantage. My
Alright.
my first
Alright.
roll was my highest roll, so
Okay, you can hit that guy then.
so 9 damage.
9 damage.
And I'm also going to attempt to knock him prone.
Yeah.
shield.
Prone bone.
Can you use that as a bonus action?
Yeah, it's a bonus action when I attack.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
You're right. Okay.
Ooh, that's a good thing.
The paladin in
23.
my group just took it. So.
23.
23. You knock him prone. Anything else?
Cassius.
Nope, that'll be all.
Alright, I'm going to move to the space southeast of Karnan. Or just directly south of Karnan.
Okay.
I'm going to use one rapier attack against the husk there.
Okay.
He's prone, so I have advantage.
Yep.
I rolled a 20 something, and does 17 damage. And I'm going to spend healing word
Okay.
on Turok.
Can you?
Bonus action.
No, but what's healing word's range?
60 feet.
Okay.
I can use healing word's a bonus and it's ranged,
Okay. Yep.
but it's only a D4 plus
Okay.
whiz.
I was thinking tier rolls.
Everything works fine.
Okay.
What word do you use to heal him?
Fuck.
Banana sandwich.
You get 4 HP.
Fuck.
Who gets 4 HP, Turok?
Truck.
Good vibes.
The fuck are you using?
Sending positive vibes your way.
I
Download.
I reach my hand out and I say one word. Memes.
Yui's turn.
Alright, so I am going to. I'm going to attack the husk.
This one?
Yep, the one directly next to me. I have advantage on the husk, or I can use sneak attack on the husk.
Yep.
Yes.
Still don't do well. I'm not gonna lie. I got a 12,
Nope.
which does not hit.
No.
I'm going to use my
Cunning action.
cunning action and second story work to climb on top of the. So I'm going to use my disengage, and I'm going to climb on top of that So I have second story.
Are you
what
doing
char-
actions to climb or movement speed to climb?
Ooh, that's a good question because second story
You've
work
already
says
used
it
your
does
action.
right.
And
So
you-
movement,
He
I
has
get cunning
Second
action, which
story.
gives me an extra disengage,
Okay.
and then I have a movement left, and not using a movement.
How does second
Do
story
you have to
foot
join
work?
it?
Or how does
Second story work. When you
Is that a
choose
thing
this
I can
archetype
join
at
my
level
game
3,
so I
you
can
gain
see
the
the
ability
map?
to climb faster than normal. Climbing no longer costs you an extra movement.
Okay.
Can you do that?
So-
on your iPad?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Also, I can make running
Like,
jumps
you
that I can
You
roll
roll
my
for
dex
it,
in
right?
to see how far I
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Just helpful.
That it?
And I fail as normal.
All right. Domino.
Thank you. Domino. Alright, so what the old fart does is turns to face the husk that just teleported in his base and tries to attack him with his staff. Yeah, that's probably not good.
How much is it for? 26.
Nope, 10 misses. But then
20, so.
on his backswing, he tries to come back up with a 18, so I know that hits, and deals 7 damage.
What?
Who's still got the sliver of health there?
I think it'll be the husk.
This husk, it's dead.
Well,
it's
it's-
negative.
Okay.
It's -2.
I thought that was the HP for Turok. Sorry.
Anything else for Domino?
What's the
Nope, that'll be it.
The husk that Domino just attacked.
public game?
Attacks him back.
About the husk.
Oh gosh, what do I use for this? 17 and 24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both.
Domino takes 2 swipes from the claws, 12 slashing damage.
Dude, I actually kind of like you doing just base damage.
Yeah, with solos, I'm probably gonna roll it, but with bigger fights, it just expedites it for
Yeah.
me.
I did
Even
that
though
with
half the
Strahd.
time I forget anyways.
Can't take another one of those guys.
I did that with Strahd.
Hmm?
Those minions and stuff
Did you?
were always base damage,
Oh, nice.
and then
I guess
whatever
I've
the
never
boss
noticed
was,
it
it was
before.
The 2 husks next to Turok
Attack Turok.
attack.
Great.
But because they're unthinking enemies, they don't teleport to get advantage,
Smart. Not smart.
which is today.
It's
God
smart
fucking damn
helmet.
it.
It's smart.
Turok takes 12 slashing damage from the first one whose both claws hit.
Yeah.
Your AC is lower than 19, right?
Just by one.
Okay. The other husk attacks.
And he's gonna miss.
No, he's not.
Great.
Do you have another 12 hit points left?
I have 2 left.
Okay.
Let's take this away, and I'll move that one over.
Just get rid of those 2.
Well, I was looking good, and now I'm not looking good.
And
It's okay,
that's-
I can heal myself, guys. Unless I kill myself.
So the husks went. Now it's Turok's turn to make a death save.
I'm gonna. No, I have 2 health.
Oh, you.
Yeah,
After
I had
that.
26.
Okay, all
I
right.
had
It
26.
is Turok's
Oh, that
turn.
makes me
then.
feel a little bit better.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna use Cure Wounds on me. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Deal 2 damage, dude.
You heal fully, and everything's fine.
And then with advantage, I never didn't get
You're poisoned.
Great.
So you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls.
But the spell works.
The spell works.
Get
double die.
Yeah. And
Do you
then
know how to add
also
conditions
get
on D&D Beyond?
+1
Yes, I do.
initiative for the game.
Oh god, it went off.
He was a dwarf.
Hit my leg and then bounce back to you.
It's okay, because I got 2 health.
Make
Is it 2
a.
plus my modifier?
You have resistance to magic.
What's that mean?
He's
Does that,
a
does that help
My
me?
die.
Did I get Kevin? Did I let you make a con check at the end of your turn?
I saved that first
Bounce off
time.
my leg and then backwards. Or down that. It's not going good.
Did I let you make a save the turn you used the stud?
No.
I should have. I apologize.
So I can save?
That's
You
okay.
save at the end of your turn, yes.
I should mention he is the only one in the party that's a Goliath. I recall you homebrewed something with a had magical resistance. Okay. I don't know if that came into play.
I rolled 12.
Now with ancient arcane technology directly interfaced to your biology. What's that?
I rolled 12.
You succeed.
I'm not poisoned.
Just
making
making
sure.
sure. Or
Like
wait,
you're making a sales
what's
pitch.
your
No,
constitution,
ancient
bonus?
arcane technology.
+2, I think.
did you add that to it?
I didn't.
Okay, so you got 14.
But for only 1999.
Let me double check for you. Constitution is +3 actually.
Plus
so
two
I got
payments
good
of
save. All right, cool.
15.99.
That's the next patch update.
All right, Uriel.
I critted the husk, and I do
That's
17 damage.
Plus a modifier.
17 damage.
Yeah, that deserves a song.
Which husk?
4.
Which husk?
This one right here.
I can
Blade
take one
attack?
hit
17
back.
damage.
Yes.
If you use the sword,
Anything else?
I'm good for now.
All right, Kandar's turn.
Don't they want Herbert more now? He has more stuff in
Oh, that's a very good point. I didn't think of that.
him. You don't have to think of it. It's
I should
fine.
have thought of that.
They're busy.
Yeah, they are kind of locked in combat with people with 2 studs, so it'll be
Is that what
fine.
he was asking? Who had studs?
Yeah, Herbert has 3
Yeah.
studs. They were all kind of aiming for them, unless someone with more stud with
Weapon face.
a large amount of studs got in their way.
Does anyone have a crowbar?
It's me, Mr. Crowbar,
I'm
Uh,
and
saving
his
your life.
friend, who is also a crowbar.
So is that like why they
I do it with crowbars.
do or don't attack people? The presence of studs.
Could be. Probably something to do with
So
that.
Kandara and her cousins let 4 arrows fly at the husk going after Domino. So the husk takes one of them's a critical hit. So the husk takes 18,
So this one you can show to me.
27.
Hey, how are we doing normal critical hit rolls?
It is max die of damage plus your modifiers plus half max die damage. So if you deal, you're using a 1d6 weapon, it's 9 plus modifiers.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Because yeah, I changed my other
change your
campaign too.
damage?
I just do ×2 instead of double weapons.
probably not gonna make much of a difference.
I didn't know
Because
we
that
changed
could be
critical
two.
hit stuff.
I do more damage.
Because I rolled it normal.
And it also improves your initiative modifier. bonus.
That I knew.
It's a D8
Right.
'cause it's
What's
a
that?
long sword.
I forgot we
would've
changed
done
critical
more
hit
damage?
rules.
Is that
So
only
I
a natural
rolled
20 or if
twice,
I
but-
crit on 19? is
Natural
that
20.
also-
Clint, I would have done 2 more damage to that husk then.
Is it dead?
Is it dismembered?
Am I dead?
So now it's Metrus' turn.
It's very weak.
I'm not dead.
We're gonna Metrus.
Feel
I
fine.
think you might have accidentally deleted Metros. I couldn't find
No,
it.
he's down here.
Oh, okay.
He's next to me.
Hey, baby.
Is he the same person as you?
Metrus comes in behind this husk, uses Domino's position to his advantage, and finishes up hacking it apart with his longsword.
Yes! Good job, Metros.
Metroid?
Domino just turns around and gives him a nod.
He kind of gives you a head bob back,
Nice.
like that tough guy. Like,
Two
So-
old guys acknowledging each other.
Yeah.
What's up?
so.
2 old guys.
Do you still
Kenneth
have your
Howard.
second wind?
Two brothers.
Who
Do you
are
still have your second wind?
With a,
Fro.
Yeah.
but they have a deeper bond. Not just brothers.
They're lover. Wait, what?
And they're running from nuns.
Kanathar!
Yes.
Forgot I get a second.
Kanathar is here.
I'm gonna run up to that nearly dead husk. Nearly dismembered husk. 21 to hit.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do, pig.
No,
And
no.
8 slashing.
Alright. It's finally cut up enough that it is no longer a threat.
Yes.
Okay.
Only one more to chop up, boys.
Um,
Chop them up.
and then I'm going to use a bonus action.
Ooh.
I'm going to rally on Jacob, on Turok, and then you gain 9 temporary hit points.
That's more than I have. You've doubled my effectiveness.
Alright, Herbert's turn is up. Assuming Kanathar's done.
Yep.
Herbert's heart rate drops from about 160, 170 down to a more reasonable 100. And then it's Carmen's turn.
And then
He takes a turn.
Okay.
Get him, Carnan.
I think I'm gonna start out
I
every
apologize.
battle
It's fine.
by giving him
You're
those
up.
temporary hit points because they
So
just like triple his health.
17 to hit.
Against what?
The husk. That's not near me anymore.
You move over.
Yeah, I apologize. 17 to hit.
That hits.
16 damage.
Damn, son.
Kill it. Kill it, Dave.
16 damage.
Nice hit.
Good hit.
Also going to attempt to knock it prone.
Oh, that was
That
it.
will probably do that thing. 24.
Knock that bitch on his ass.
Only gets a 22.
Wow.
I probably could have.
So you bring your
I probably
shield
could've
in and just
not
sweep its legs
done
over.
that to you, Jason.
Maybe break a
You probably
break a knee
would've
apart.
been fine.
That gun
Also,
and
we're gonna
son.
kill that one.
Yeah,
Anything else?
that will be all.
Cassius.
Okay. If I move down one block, can I see the husk on the back of the caravan?
These are dead.
Yeah, they're dead.
By Domino.
It's dead.
It's dead. They're
That
all
one's
dead.
dead?
This is
Yeah.
the only one left.
It should have a little skull and bones icon on it.
Okay. Sorry. I can't really reach him with anything else but my bow, so I'm going to shoot. I got a 20 to hit and 16 damage.
Damn.
That's enough. It's down.
We win.
Yeah, you guys win.
So, did you create this game, Kevin?
So looking at
Look for clues.
Rolled a 14.
I didn't even get to jump off the
So-
wagon onto the house.
looking at these husks, like maybe some of you have encountered husks before, maybe some of you haven't. They're still moving. Like they you have hacked them apart enough that they are
They're just not attacking us anymore.
they lack the ability to be a danger. Like they're all hacked apart. Their long bones are broken. Their tendons are cut apart. You know.
Are there any body pieces with studs in
Do
them?
they look like they're
I was
regenerating?
gonna do that.
No, they're not regenerating.
Okay,
in any
so
way.
they're not gonna die, but they are gonna just be useless
Yeah.
here.
If you guys want to carefully search them, you can.
I got
Yeah.
a 12 for investigation.
I would love to do that.
What keep the husk alive is probably what's
Take-
keeping the
You kind of poke and prod
Yeah,
at them.
that's
You kind of you watch the mouth,
just emanating
the
outwards
mouth
from
parts and the claw parts. You can see
So
that,
you
that they
can, like,
they definitely all of them have studs on them, but they are cracked and broken
not die
studs,
because her family would have
which is not supposed to be which
No.
is not new information. There are broken studs,
It
but
could
like,
also be
they don't
get turned
break.
into a husk by
You know? like the
Studs.
broken studs are found obviously on husks,
because
but
they
they're more found on like
They all stay
corpses
around
in the
the-
field last
Is this something that
stay
the last
within,
field
like,
where all
a-
the dead lose
can
God.
I
certain range
roll
and
some
stuff.
sort of
They're
check
probably
to figure
drawn
out
there once they get turned into.
is this something that
Because
might
you don't encounter
cause
them elsewhere.
the
Like, it's not a
husks,
notable-
or
It's
like
like
if the
you have
studs
around
crack?
to find the shadows.
You have no way of
possible,
knowing
but
that.
Okay.
they have studs and they're drawn.
just
as
speculation?
studs.
Yeah, anything you come up with would be complete speculation,
Okay,
and you have no way to like.
I take a little, some piece of scrap of leather, and I just kind of like try to shove it over my stud
Oh, you're stunned.
as like that extra protection.
Like in human and Goliath memory, studs are pretty much impervious, but they are found on destroyed husks and on dead Lujgao on the last field or the last.
I searched the teleporting husk
Yeah, the
for
last
stuff.
field.
That's what he's saying. Is they're all cracked.
They have studs,
Oh.
but they're all cracked and broken.
Boo. Are like other than on husks, are studs known to be fragile?
No, he said
No,
they're
they're known to be completely indestructible by mortal means.
So I thought.
Only
So
have
if
they
you
been
were, if
seen
you had enough
cracked
money,
on dead
you could
Lujgao
invest
and
in
husks.
studs and become immortal, or impervious rather.
With a low chance of just one day exploding.
I mean, I'm sure implanting yourself with that much alien arcane technology
Would kill you anyways.
would be
right?
completely fine for your body.
I'm gonna try it, guys.
There totally aren't rules for if you have more than
You're
like
old enough. If you
15
die,
studs,
it'll be
it
till
doing
old
bad
age.
things to you.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't.
So 15
We don't
is the
know that.
limit.
We don't know that.
You put them in important places.
We're gonna be
I mean that's rich people disease. We don't have that. We never knew.
Not
We don't run in those
Studs.
circles.
Maybe the only cure is to get more studs.
Right. It's like you go past between 15 and 20, you get sick, but after 20, it's like
It's
You're
like,
getting better.
So Herber's heart rate drops to about 70. He hops down off the wagon and he starts poking with his cane at the
And it drops
husks.
to
And
39. and then 10. And then
Mutter something to the effect of, I've never seen a husk before. I've never felt so alive in my life.
but you were not
And,
alive.
and then he goes and gets a change of pants.
What noise does a husk make?
Animalistic, grunty, growly.
That meme that's going
Can I jump down and scare the shit out of her?
If you really want to.
Oh God! Don't do that. He's
If
an
you're
old
ready.
man.
You might die.
All right.
Who's
Well, I'm
just
not gonna do it.
experiencing life for the first time.
They talked me out of it. I'm not gonna jump down and scare the shit out of them.
So, you guys want to sleep?
Oh yeah, I think it's still Domino's turn for watch.
I mean, in character, we would not have been able to talk you out of it. So
I'm gonna use my second win.
Yeah, Domino will do the same. Use the second win.
10.
Good thing we didn't get hurt in that fight.
Yeah, Herbert and Turok took the brunt of
I
that.
bet taunt's not a thing. D&D.
I'm back to half health.
Oh wow, that was a great roll.
That does things. These are both terrible. Yes.
I mean, I'm better.
That's fine.
What are you doing for HP?
Do what
I got up to half with my second win.
And anything else you guys want to do?
Leave?
I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna
make
check
sure
on
that
Herbert.
Kindara's okay and Herbert.
I'm gonna check on Herbert.
Kandara is also motivated to check out Herbert. And, yeah, everyone, and she's kind of, are you injured? Are you okay? And I'm fine. I'm fine. He's very clearly like, I want to poke at this husk, and completely forget about the fact that I almost died, because I'm scared. But Herbert's okay. Kandara's fine. She was completely untouched. This is not the first. Like, you get the sense that this is not the first time she's had to go toe to toe with husks.
Okay. So they didn't die, correct?
No, they're just gonna be there forever.
Yeah, they're going to be there forever.
Can we cover them up?
I mean, until
Can
their bones are
can I
crushed apart in
roll?
dust.
Can I roll a history check?
Sure. 4.
I am curious if I have any knowledge of husks reanimating.
Go ahead and make a history check.
You should just ask Herbert.
That's a 20,
Okay.
not natural.
Once husks go down and like they don't heal. They don't heal. Like they don't like take a nap and get up to full health.
Okay.
Like living people do. They are just super hard to take down. Like you have to literally cut them apart.
So do they die?
Not the way you die.
Okay.
You could stitch them back together and make a super husk.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So they're not human. Then.
Yeah, we're gonna run.
So
it.
like, if there's like an arm, it's kind of moving around,
At
and
least.
Yeah, like it's twitching.
I
Like,
grab one of those arms and I tie it up in the wagon.
Give a pet husk arm.
Well, no, because I'm curious what would happen outside, like 500 kilometers away from the Font of Shadows if it's no longer animate.
I like that.
That's legit.
And then I keep
I was
around and fuck
thinking
with
sew
her
one
when
to
he's
my
sleeping.
chest, so I know I have 3 arms.
Just set like the hand looses.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Cut it off at the wrist like a spider.
So I
If
guess
my character
my
had any medical
next
knowledge,
question,
I'd
Clint, would
try to
be:
stitch it to your back.
can they be destroyed entirely? I mean, what would I know of maybe a procedure that we could go through to destroy these husks?
When you get to be a few days from Millen, eventually, the husk hand stops moving. Wow, 500 miles is a long space. Was it 500 miles or was
I
it
think
500 miles?
I recall you saying they're not found outside that range. I want to say. I don't know if you gave
It can't be 500 miles because they're.
I mean, I could be
I
wrong,
must have.
but that's what I
must have
thought.
written something fucked up wrong
50 miles?
because I thought it was 500 miles, but that's super close to the cities.
50 miles?
100 miles.
We'll call it 200 miles. I must have forgot how much. I don't know what I did, but it was not intended to be.
It's
that
not
close.
500, okay?
Yeah, it was not intended to be that close to the cities. We'll call it 200 miles.
Let's try a circle.
Retcon.
would I know of any type of maybe ritual, or not necessarily a ritual, but any kind of procedure to go through to actually destroy the remains of the husks?
We can burn birds.
We can take everyone we kill outside the 200-mile range
Could
and
we-
bury them.
In theory, could we powder their bones essentially?
Yeah, you can powder it. I mean, once
You just
once
get a vibrating powder.
like husks,
It's not gonna
husks
hurt you,
operate
like-
they're not alive, but if you cut all their tendons, they will stop being able to move their limbs. If you tear apart all their
So if you
muscle tissue, they
So
will
if
stop
I
being
sever
able
the
to
spinal cord, they
Further-
can't do anything.
Yeah, like
They're
like
basically hacked to
they-
pieces right now. Yeah.
Okay,
They're just laying on the
If
ground.
you were to make a medicine check and get a really high check, you would know that their body still obeys like
Okay.
some of the rules of normal
18?
human biology. Yeah.
Furthermore,
Okay, so I'd like to go through those husks and sever all their spinal cords with my hand axe.
Okay.
after we get outside the range where the arm stops moving, is it like an instant thing or is it like slow and gradual? Like,
No, like you pass a point and they stop completely.
can
like
I
a barrier.
take it back closer towards the font and see if it reanimates again?
It does.
Nifty.
Like a magical barrier. The hand.
But-
will-
That
I
is,
bring
that
it-
is, that is days in the future. Like that is
Say-
like 10 days from now.
I bring it back, but I
Still counts.
pose the finger like this as I'm walking across the barrier, and I leave it like.
Fair enough. But yeah, that like you the hand stopped moving like 10 days from now.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
Fast forward 10 days. There's
Um,
nothing bad happening.
so if there's nothing else
That's the opposite.
to do
of
right
flash.
here, right in this moment.
Yeah, I think we all just kind of back up. And
Yeah, let's
I'm gonna climb
eat
down.
breakfast.
Okay.
The wagon.
Okay.
We have jerky now.
So
I'm gonna suggest we get moving. Yeah.
Pretty
after
quick.
that.
I would still probably not like to eat that jerky.
a few days pass. It is now the 14th of 11th month, and remember that what was going on with the husks. That was the day after you had slept near the font and everything. It's now the 14th of 11th month, and you're out of the craggy, smog-covered, spiky mess of the volcanic area around the font. You're now in the regular deep desert. Everything is mostly flat and brown and rocky. The air is, as always, still and dry and hot. And the sun is moving west and still hanging huge and yellow above you like a big burning mess of hate. Every night since the font, you've had dreams. Dreams of featureless grayness and the sensations of hunger and pain and loneliness. You haven't experienced frost-covered ground like you did when you slept right outside the font, but you wake up cold. When you, as you go further and further from the font, the strength and intensity of these dreams has been fading. And if we jump 10 days in the future, when the husk stops moving, you stop having dreams too. It's weird how that works.
But it's normal.
Convenient.
But it's normal.
It's normal. So it's the 14th of 11th month, 4032 DOS. You guys are entering into your rest period. It's early evening. You guys have set up the wagons in the very minor shade provided by a large rock formation. Like it's not. Oh yeah, we passed
Break
the hour
time.
point. So let's stop for a break because I got a pee too.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're back. So, you guys have finished your husk bullshit, and as I was saying, you've been having some dreams, and they're lessening in intensity, and in about 10 days, you'll discover that they stop. But that's not right now, that's in the future. You guys have set up the wagons in the very minor shape provided by a large rock formation. The sun is, heading west. Wait. Why isn't he set in the west? Yeah, it's sunset's in the west.
Isn't yours backwards?
Is there
Said
two
it was
suns
for
or
some
one?
reason. I might be wrong.
It doesn't matter.
It's two suns sewed together to be a Frankensun.
And this is normal.
So it looks like a glowing set of
No.
testicles.
I didn't think that through. Fair enough. You win this round. Anywho.
The great taint in the
That
sky.
explains why you don't look.
This guy is tainted with yellow.
So Kandara is starting to get the fire ready for some cooking. She's got some pots and cooking utensils and stuff out. The cousins found some wild crowsink tracks earlier. They've elected to see if they can hunt one down to assist your supplies. Like I said, your supplies aren't in any sort of rough shape. You know, you've got a buffer of 20 to 30 days, you know, before you're expected to reach Millen. Or you should only use about half your supplies by the time you reach Millen and the lands of the Octon and that sort of thing. But you're all desert born and bred, so you know that hunting where you can is important, you know. As everyone is kind of cooking and readying themselves for your rest period, Herbert kind of pulls you guys aside as a group and hands each of you a small little like sack of around 16 platinum coins.
60, you said?
16.
What's that worth?
160 gold.
Yep.
He says, by my estimations, you are currently owed 160 gold per our agreement of 5 gold per day for each of you, I believe.
Seems reasonable.
Take a path over
No. His daily payment. Are those also those like traveler checks he has, or are those actual?
These are actual platinum coins that he's
Okay.
handing you. And then he starts handing each of you 50 more platinum coins.
Each of
So,
us?
Each of you. Which is 500 gold. And as far as conversion rates, don't worry. Just write it down in gold. It doesn't matter if it's platinum or copper or gold or what. Just write it out in gold.
So we have
It's
an
gonna be
additional
easier.
500 gold.
Yeah. So
Alright.
all totaled, he's giving you 650 gold right now.
Each.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
I have as much as you guys had when you finished the game. Playing catch up, guys.
I was like, I'm getting there. I'm only at 1550, but I don't know.
So
I
he
got
says-
knocked out at the end of last session.
So I have
This-
3,000 gold.
Probably. This is 500 gold for each of you, using the standard value of conversion rates for gold to platinum. I wanted to reduce travel weight during this journey. Most of my finances are in banknotes and platinum coins. This payment is ideally to purchase your continued loyalty and service. He kind of clasps his hands behind his back and kind of paces a little bit as he's talking. Originally, I started this journey as something of a whim, collecting the artifacts of the gods. What a way to end the life of a historian and archaeologist's career. What a way to end his career. To collect them all in one place for all men in Goliath of Yokovka to come to Wallask and see. This was to be my legacy. He sighs. It was at best the silly dream of an old man. I recognize this now in light of what we've seen at the font. I've seen the desert. I've seen new tribal residents of it. Kandara has suffered such hardships and looks only a decade younger than I, despite me being 30-odd years her senior. I've spent my silly life paying others to dig in the dirt, so I and my contemporaries can twitter and coo over the findings, thinking nothing of the money we spend on it. Barely a full month in the desert, and I have well learned the savagery of this place. Kind of brings his hands in front of him and kind of absently kind of massages his knuckles a little bit. You can tell the desert, as I've stated before, you can tell the desert has exacerbated his limp. His joints have got to be on fire. You know, he's not used to this kind of rough travel, and you know he's always had the city keeping him healthy. He goes on. I wish to change the nature of our agreement. The core agreement remains in place. 5 gold per day, 2,000 for the group should you recover an artifact. However, I've spoken with Kandara. She is committed to finding a way into the font, not for personal glory or power or wealth, but to heal the god of winter and restore this land to some semblance of seasonal stability. Her commitment to this is iron, but she lacks knowledge, and he kind of points to himself, and she lacks strength of arms, and kind of gestures to you guys. This is where we come in. Instead of collecting all the artifacts, so they may be collected in a museum behind glass and can collect dust, I have consulted my notes and histories and have come up with a short list of artifacts that will potentially aid us in gaining access to the font and the god of winter, and hopefully healing him. This 500 gold bonus, or whatever you would like to call it, is I hope sufficient to offer you incentive to join us in this quest, to sunder the walls of the font and heal the god within. This this task I imagine will be every bit as deadly as everything else that has occurred in the desert. However, I must ask, and I make no judgments towards your responses, but I wish to know, are you willing to pursue this task with me? And will you do so purely for financial gain? Or, and I know how trite this sounds, out of a desire to leave this world a better place. To make this world a better place.
I step forward and say, give us a moment.
Okay.
Oh, I'm glad you did that before I spoke up.
I knew it. Everybody was going to have different goddamn answers. Pow wow, guys.
I was waiting for Cassius to just jump out and cut his hand again.
Yeah, this is a hand cutter right here. It's not even healed yet.
By my blood, this world
At that
will be
point, you
saved.
guys
Damn it,
turn around
somebody
and
heal Cassius.
you guys turn around and look at Cassius. He's already got the dagger like pressed into his hand, and
It's not blood oath.
he just kind of like looks.
All right, so we quick huddle up.
Puts the dagger back.
What's everyone's gut feeling?
Palm pat it.
Gut feeling, I want to leave this place better than it was when I entered it. But if I'm still around afterward, I definitely want some financial profit out of this. Just throwing that out there.
He's still pay. He still said he's offer. He's still
Exactly.
paying you.
He's still paying.
But he just
but
wants to know whether or not we
He
want
wants
to do it.
He wants to
I
know
will do
what
this
your
to my
loyalties
death.
are.
Yui, and all of you who feel that way, I agree.
I
Financial
like-
compensation is great, but let's say this is real. We pull this off. We heal a god, bring a god back. I'm assuming we'll have a god as an ally.
Whoa,
That's worth
man.
more than any gold anyone could ever offer you.
I mean, we have a lot of gold.
Well, the thing is, he's
I
gonna
mean, at
pay
the
us
very
either
least,
way.
you'll have cool, refreshing water. It's the god of winter.
The thing
We can
is,
probably
he's
do
gonna
things
pay us either
remotely.
way.
We do.
He just wants to know whether we want to do it for
Or
sure.
punches us,
You've
or he
saved my
punches
life.
us
What
into
do
an
you
eternal
want?
winter and we all die.
Cool my drinks for the rest of eternity.
Everyone dies.
I want to always have ice in my
We
cup.
will need.
The cup of
Obviously,
always
there's
cold.
expenses that come with this type of work,
Yes.
and we will need at least a backer.
Well, I think Herbert and Kandara can be those backers.
So I would
They're
definitely keep them
just a little
involved.
wealthy.
Furthermore, we can't
Just a
speak a word of any of what we're doing to anyone outside of this caravan.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
Vaunt of the Shadows is probably frowned upon.
I think people will think we're crazy.
I think if people
Anyways,
found out we were gonna try and get all the artifacts, they'd want to get all the artifacts.
Or that.
There's a reason the artifacts are where they are now. You know, they're dangerous to get at. Otherwise, anyone could have just grabbed them.
Is
There are people that are out there that are going to want these artifacts when they find out we have freed them from where their resting places are.
We should get a super offensive one first, because the second one they're gonna know we're coming.
that's not a bad idea. If honestly,
Actually,
if
like,
we know
literally.
anything about these artifacts and we have any choice in which order we attempt to retrieve them,
Get one that can fuck some shit up.
Kandara's father already knows that we accepted this other mission on top of escorting his daughter.
Well,
There's no way we would know that.
that's true.
but I think
no, I'm
Nano
asking
says
like
this
judgment
considering,
call.
yeah,
Do you think that
considering who this man is, I don't
Right.
think we should put
put
that
it past him?
past us. Yeah.
Especially since we know Herbert is known in the city fairly well. Now he's not there.
Did we ever?
Even if he didn't know when we were leaving, he there's a good chance he knows that we've left. Because someone that important
Yes.
would.
Well, there was
So-
no one left from that caravan. We killed everyone that was in there.
No, I mean Herbert's
But-
estate. There's no Herbert at his house.
Wait,
The caravan sent by
Did we ever
Kandara's
tell-
father.
That's what I'm
he
talking
could have
about.
had somebody saying,
Clint.
"Okay, check in with me every week.
We ever tell
Otherwise, I will
Kandara
send
about
more
her dad
caravans."
hired us? I think
Yeah.
we did, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because some guy
We almost got
started a
murdered.
fight with you, and he was like, "You know why I'm here."
So my point is
And then one of the members of his team ran off. Into
we
the
go
desert.
forward assuming they already know Herbert's involved in this.
Yes,
I mean,
and
who's going
we never
to-
caught that guy.
who's gonna pursue
But
us
he,
into the
as far
Vaunt
as
of
you
the
can tell,
Shadows?
he had no supplies and was bleeding.
They know we're going after the artifacts.
He's probably hunted
Right.
by
They're not all at
dogs.
the hunt.
And he's
farm
not a player
shadows.
character or an important NPC, so he doesn't heal immediately overnight.
Fuck. Using healing word. Fuck.
Memes.
Well,
So I think it would be safe to assume that there will be people that know what we're doing, but we
No.
should not attract the attention of this. They don't know what our end goal is. They just know that we're looking for them.
I think we're good, man.
So I mean, do we systematically go at it in a random fashion? And
I say we talk to Herbert about
Yeah,
that. But
Herbert,
I
That
think
we
that
need
method
to-
of approach. I'm just saying
Did I
that
leave that
to
here?
go further.
That was on top of my.
yeah, I
We
think
so
should
the
probably-
discussion is
I was
purely
wondering
go
where it
after
was
the
like all week.
artifacts or not to go after the artifacts.
Right.
We're going for them to restore the god.
Oh yeah, I'm all for that.
But I think our goal should be, as far as everyone else is concerned, to maintain the status quo.
Yep.
Because if we bring a god back, there's going to be some powerful people that are not as powerful anymore, and they want to keep the things
And
the
they
way
will
they
want
are.
to stop us.
God.
we'll have artifacts and a god.
But
hopefully,
until
to
we
help us.
wake
Well,
the
until
god.
we do, these people, if they find out we're trying to do this, will stop us at any cost.
They
I
want to
think it's
keep
important that we
in power. We pull someone stronger than them into power.
I'm
they lose
assuming this
power.
god's not gonna be a great guy.
Oh, he's gonna be awesome.
I mean,
What are you
he's
talking
also
about?
he's locked inside,
It's true.
probably for a reason.
No, they locked him in so they
Yeah, but-
couldn't murder him.
Yeah,
The
but why
other
would-
gods put him in
Why
there,
would he
right?
need to be locked inside?
So
don't
he
know
couldn't
who
get
put him in.
murderized. Right? Isn't that the thing?
Yeah, but
general
I
consensus-
guarantee he's pretty angry.
The general consensus
But he's
is that
reaching out
and
to
we
us.
are freeing him.
It's
Well,
okay.
yeah.
He's going to give us power.
He's gonna be angry at the big 12-foot tall guys that are full of studs,
The
not
Goliaths.
at the people. No, the Lushgao. The descendants of the Lushgao. He's gonna be mad at them because
He's also gonna be angry at the Goliaths,
their
not the
ancestors
humans.
fucked him.
If you read the
Possibly
backstory, you
Goliaths
should
as
make
well.
a Goliath character, right?
But he'll like me because I'm gonna help.
You
Dibs
mar-
on wielding the one that frees him.
You married into his
No,
family.
the giants
We
were
do
on the
have-
god's side.
We do have a connection to the Goliath Mafia. Is there
Right.
any strings you think you could pull
I
They're
know some
probably gonna be
people.
the
for
ones hunting us.
running some interference
Someone need to get whacked.
in the city?
I mean, a whacking guy? Off
Maybe
guy,
maybe
off
get
guy.
Giants were on the
Kendar's
outside.
brother
You
or
can
father
use that as an in.
tied down
But, you know,
with
like,
something.
Regardless,
My ancestors
we're all
like,
in on
helped
this.
you, so.
Right. So back
Right?
to Herbert.
Herbert.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we all we break from our powwow. Go back to Herbert.
Herbert.
I'll relay what we said, and I'll say, I feel that we need to keep you involved, as there is a cost that comes with this type of effort,
Of
and
course.
there's going to be expenses that we do not foresee.
Of course.
You know,
And my
But-
axe.
and I kind of relay the importance of secrecy, kind of like what we did here, to him, and I even invite Kendara over to speak too, if you're okay with that. Or is she kind of like doing her own thing?
Oh, there's a group meeting that's about to come up, so
Okay,
it doesn't matter if we do it now or like in 5 minutes.
we can do it in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Perfect.
I just figured if she's gonna see all of us standing together talking with Herbert, and then she's like, okay, what's
He
going
is
on
our
here?
employer, though. That would be the weirdest thing to see.
No, not at all.
Well,
She's also our employer.
She's also here.
Right. We have 2 employers. We covered this.
Somebody had to go and cut their hands.
So the general consensus is you are all.
We're in
kind
it,
of-
and we want to free the gods, not just the money,
Okay. All right.
but also the money.
But also the money.
But also the money.
We, like you said, there will need to be compensation.
The money helps.
But
We don't need the money,
We
but
are-
who doesn't like money?
What
we are
about
in
benefits?
this
What,
to.
what benefits do we get?
Herbert, you're not gonna
Funeral
spend it
costs
when you're
covered?
dead.
Can you cover funeral costs? Because one of us dies.
Does Herbert know something we don't know?
Herbert, we are
about,
much
like,
younger
this
than
guy?
you.
Like,
There's a lot more life to spend.
obviously, he knows way more
We're
about this
old.
god than we know. But is he like?
I don't think anybody
Is he
knows
like
very
the
much,
evil
though.
guy in an Indiana Jones movie trying to dig up the Ark of the
Is he
Covenant?
German?
Ooh, good
Is he
point.
sure?
Jesus Christ. Legitimate question. Do we
No.
get like a creepy vibe, like he's
Any
trying to restore
upper
a giant
lip
I think he
that
seems
he's
like
going
a
to use
nice-
to kill his high school bullies?
Would you like to make an insight check?
I would love to.
Okay, I will. I roll behind the screen.
Oh.
What's your bonus?
100.
Great.
Don't you assume? It's 2.
You should have said 3.
Your general consensus is
That he knows things that we don't.
your gut instinct says that Herbert is not good at deception. Like he is a genuine person.
Okay.
Like subterfuge is not his thing.
That's-
and
That's a very, very good way to explain
Has he mentioned subjugating any specific race?
If we free this god, I have a final solution.
Okay. All right. That was fun. Herbert's very pleased by your words. He gets a big grin on his face. Excellent. Excellent. I feel that we're motivated. That if anyone can do this, that we can. He's very excited. He walks away and he's got his tone and he's all like, I'm gonna,
I'm finally a true wizard.
So, and this is all part of a large group, right? Or is that happening next?
That's happening next.
Okay.
So, you guys all kind of set to doing camp and that sort of thing. Getting your bedrolls out and raising the awnings and stuff. Kandar is working on cooking. Mattress is kind of hanging out by her. The cousins are off hunting the crow sank. After a few moments, Domino kind of steps away from the group. Kind of gets Kandar, hangs out by Kandar for a little bit while she's cooking. They kind of exchange a couple words and Domino kind of rests his hand on her shoulder and it looks like he's, speaking quietly with her, maybe offering some comfort, that kind of thing. She kind of clasps his hand for a moment and kind of wipes a tear or something out of her eye and, gives him a kind of quiet nod and continues cooking. And eventually Domino comes away. Was that okay handling it that way?
That was perfect.
Because anything else is really, no.
Perfect. Yeah, that was perfect.
Like I think it's cool, but it's not something I want to role play in a group setting in front of a bunch of
That
people.
was perfect.
Okay.
Just gonna go with
So, you guys kind of have a routine with setting up camp and stuff, and you kind of go through that routine. And you all kind of sit down to eat. You enjoy the fresh wild crow sank. Cousins quickly scarf their food and go off to keep watch while the rest of you enjoy a somewhat leisurely meal. Metris and Herbert compliment the crow sank stew, and Kandara makes weak smiles at them for their compliments and that sort of thing. And you kind of all set to cleaning up the meal and cleaning out the pots and stuff. And Herbert clears his throat and says, Kandara, please, sit. I feel this group has much to discuss. She kind of raises a brow at him and, of course, she sets down a stew pot, wipes her hands clean on her leather leggings, and sits by the waning fire with you guys. Herbert drags his massive tome out of his backpack and opens it up on his lap, and he kind of leans against a rock near the fire. He says to Kandara and Metris, I've spoken with our guardians, the Abandoned. And he goes on, they have agreed to remain in our employ. I have elected to alter the nature of their agreement with me, which, as you know, was to recover the artifacts of the gods of Yafka. It is my desire to use them to recover the artifacts that this group as a whole feels will be relevant to penetrating the font and healing the god within. And then do so. My research on the subject of the artifacts is extensive, and it is my belief that my research, coupled with their competence and your devotion to this cause, gives us a reasonable chance of success at this magnificent and worthy goal. I believe that the gods spoke to us that night at the font because we represent an aligning of resources and personalities that it believes to have the best chance of freeing it. I wish to know if you and Metris agree with this assessment. Metris doesn't say anything, which is kind of his thing. He kind of looks to Kandara and sees what she thinks about most things before he really offers his opinion. Kandara is silent for a few moments, and she says quietly, whether we have the best chance possible or not is irrelevant to me. All I have left in this world is Metris, my dead husband's cousins, and a dozen corpses. The Acton tribe is dead. I have no purpose left. Whether we succeed or fail, attempting to heal the god and the deep desert is a goal worth spending the rest of my life achieving. What strength and life I have left in me, I'll use it to achieve this goal. She kind of choked back a sob and reaches out to pat Metris' hand and continues. However, we would welcome your assistance on this quest, for I have a strong belief that this road is going to be long and difficult. The five of us come from a close-knit tribe, and traversing the desert alone will remind us of our losses. Perhaps with the aid of you with us, we will not be quite so heartsick and lonely. Kind of looks at Damo for a moment. Maybe he's imagining it. Herber smiles warmly back at her and says, and with kind of like, given the gravity of the way she's talking, there is kind of an inappropriate amount of excitement in Herber's voice when he's talking. But he says, now comes the task of weeding through rumor and supposition to decide upon which artifacts our time will be best spent attempting to acquire. Our main task is twofold: to enter the font, and then to heal the god within. We will need artifacts that allow us to destroy, and some that heal. Metris clears his throat and says, how should we proceed? Find an artifact and return to the font to see if it does anything? Or collect as many as we can and return to test them all? Herber kind of frowns at this interruption. Like he was getting up Steve and he wanted to continue a little bit longer. Given the distances we will be traversing, it makes more sense to me that we collect what artifacts we can and return to the font to test them all. There's no time limit to this quest of ours, it's true, but the more we traverse the desert to and from the font, it seems the greater the risk of peril to ourselves. Additionally, what's the purpose of successfully opening the font if we possess no artifact capable of rousing the god within? He turns to you guys and says, as our resident guardians, what is your feeling on this? Shall we collect the artifacts individually, or as a group, and then return to the font to test them?
If I remember, in your backstory for the camp for the world, when people were opening the cities, was there an inherent danger inside the city when they first?
No, they were all just empty.
Okay.
Millen had a bunch of rubble in it that I think had to be cleared out. Maybe it wasn't Millen. One of them had a bunch of rubble in it. But like there wasn't like traps or anything like that. They had varying amounts of resources stored near the furnaces of creation and the purifiers, but
The reason I say is I don't know. At the time, I guess I'll say this in character. We don't know what's inside the font.
it's true.
We don't know what kind of dangers are in there.
It's true.
I think not only do we need something that can get into the font, something that can protect us from whatever's inside it, and something to heal the god.
That's valid.
Domino agrees. Yeah.
You know,
Dom-
I think the best choice would be to collect multiple in return, as
Yeah.
we've already kind
as
of
many as we
discussed.
can find within a reasonable amount of time.
It's not exactly,
At least feel
a
out
short
what leads
walk
we
across
have.
the desert.
Okay. I agree with this assessment. Metris, no, yeah, that makes sense. Canberra, yeah, that makes sense.
I would also like to add that what we were
Cousins off
talking
in the
about
desert,
ourselves,
yeah, that makes sense. I agree.
while we were talking about ourselves, we decided that an offensive artifact might be best to capture first and might aid in the collecting of future artifacts.
and then I relayed a bit about secrecy to Kandara and Metris. Kind of like stress the fact that we know her father is very comfortable in his position and doesn't want to leave that. So I think it's best that no one knows what our true actions are.
Yeah, they kind of agree with it. Kandara definitely is very vocal about the threat her father can pose to things. But they all, the three of them, agree that secrecy is probably the best option. You're all kind of in agreement on how you should proceed. Herbert does raise the point that we're going to be very close to Millen, and Millen is where the Chalice of Balance is. This is known. This is historical fact. This is factual information. And while the Chalice of Balance is more likely a healing object than an offensive one, it may be worth going to Millen as I had originally planned, simply due to proximity.
That makes sense.
Hard to
me.
argue with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
realistically, don't want to have to come back.
Domino likes to stress to everyone, both both groups, Kandara's and the Abandoned, and agree with Herbert that while I think we should all take our input in on all of this, Herbert probably has more knowledge than any of us do. We can add our common sense together and our desert
guess
knowledge, but
we should also come up with a plan of which other artifacts we could go at from here. Since we're outside of the
I'm
city.
sure he has a map drawn.
No, I mean, like, since we're outside of the city, we should probably discuss what specific artifacts we want, because as soon as we get in the city, there's going to be ears that we don't want.
This is true.
that's a good point.
And we have him here, so if something should happen where we become separated, we know where to find.
Where do we go next? Where do we meet next?
Yeah.
Ooh, good point. Can we have a copy of those notes?
Oh, you mean
Herbert,
like 13,000?
In response
book?
to Cassius's words, Herbert says, you may have noticed I've been reviewing my notes
Yeah.
and studies over the past few days, and he passed that big, massive tome on his
You
lap.
have notes?
I have compiled a small list of suggestions as a kicking off point. If you're
Yes.
Let's hear him.
he kind of steeples his fingers above his lap. First and foremost, we need to enter the font. And he's total like aesthetic, like scholarly, like lecturer at this point. Like he's giving a class or something. Like, you know, like kind of the.
Does he have like glasses or everything? Pushes up his nose, like.
No, he doesn't need spectacles. He's lived in the city all his whole life.
Okay.
First and foremost, we need to enter the font. This is known. We need artifacts of destructive power, and perhaps teleportative ability. Something to get in. We don't know how thick the walls are. We can suppose that they are as thick as the walls of a city. 50, 60 feet, depending. The most deadly and destructive artifacts I can think of are the 4 blades of bone and flame. These 4 weapons are supposedly made from the corpse of the god of eternal summer and can incinerate almost any living thing and reduce it to gray ash. There are 4 of them, so 4 people get dibs.
I don't like blades.
As far as
Dibs.
that's convenient
So
because one of
in
them is
your
basically a long stick of bone with a big flame ball on the end.
This one
That
does.
sounds like magic. I don't want that.
As far as I can tell, they have not ever been brought near the font. But I believe somewhere in my notes, our leads to the location of 3 of them. But I have to. He holds up the tome. This is decades of research. I have to find the proper notes. Kandar says suddenly with some excitement. The rotting teeth of autumn, made from the teeth of the god of perpetual autumn. You mentioned them at the font. I've heard tales of them before. Herbert kind of frowns at the interruption again. Metris and Kandar are both like ruining his spiel, but he says with a quick smile, "Yes, those were my next item. The rotting teeth of autumn, similar to blades, are capable of destroying living and inanimate matter. Tales say they are arrowheads, though a few describe them more as knives. I happen to know of a colleague that at one time possessed some of them. His name was Erixor Mongoinen. Mongoinen? God, I gotta say names before I read them off once in a while. He was a digger in the dirt like myself, though obviously of much less fame. He used them extensively in excavating ancient sites of human and Goliath and Lujgao civilizations. They destroyed things, and he would use them to tunnel rather than having conventional laborers dig holes. And they were very useful for destroying and excavating.
Well, that sounds perfect for getting inside the walls.
That sounds about right.
The records that I've been able to uncover indicate that they've never been used against the walls of a city or a font, so I don't know what effect they'll have on the black Lujgao stone. But at least we know of their efficacy with mundane stone.
We know that there's no bite marks on the walls either, so
Is there any
Autumn wasn't chewing on
known negative impact of using any of these artifacts against a wall? Like somebody goes to
using
try to
them at
use
all,
the
for
wrong
that
one
matter.
and they explode. Anything like that?
There are tales of wielders of the blades of blown in flame accidentally hitting themselves with the blades and being immediately incinerated.
But hitting the wall itself doesn't.
There's no record.
There's no
of
record of
them
it ever
touching the
being
walls.
used.
No one's
The-
ever used any of these weapons on
The-
any walls.
Yeah, the assumption is that the
Oh.
cities and the font are made of the same stone, but anytime someone tries to do something fucked up to a city, the descendants of the Lujgao kind of...
I thought they used
Result.
these to get into the city originally.
No.
Oh,
Cities
there
were
was-
wide open.
Okay. Disregard.
Okay. Herbert says the rotting teeth of autumn were lost with Eric Soar almost a decade ago on his last expedition into the desert. I know I have the location of this last expedition in my notes. It will just I'll just have to find it. So, and like, if you guys think of anything to say as far as artifacts, if you remember anything from the background information, feel free to chime in. But
Out of curiosity, about how long do you think it would take you to research something like that? I mean, how far to Millen, where we're going to recover the first artifact, is this something you could feasibly find out by then?
yes.
Maybe.
I'll allow it.
Yes-ish.
Yes-ish.
Probably.
Metris leans forward towards Herbert and says, I was something of a gamesman in my youth. Are you familiar with the Knucklebones of Summer? Herbert nods. Yes, I've heard of these legends of gambling. And it is...
Dibs. Dibs again.
Damn it.
And there's, like, he's not frowning, but there's definitely like, really, you're bringing gambling hall rumors to my table, Metris. Like, there's that kind of tone in when he says, yes, I've heard of these legends of gambling. However, my studies indicate that there's some doubt to their existence, let alone their status as artifacts of the gods. Huh? Yeah. Okay.
I like that one. And other one,
What one do you like?
Shadow Blade.
The Shadow Blade. If you want to say anything about it, go ahead and interrupt.
Do it. I've heard about this the Shadow Blade. What do you know about that? Is it Herbert?
Very, very little. It does not appear in many histories. It's very rare that a reliable witness tells a story of it. It has vague powers of cold and injury, but I have no current leads. I don't recall hearing anything about a specific location. That is one that would take some time to research. I might need access to a library or something. Perhaps in one. It would really only be able to. I don't know. We'd have to do some research before that one can be tracked down.
If it's a weapon of cold and injury, you think Winter might want it back when he wakes up?
That is a thought that has occurred to me. There are rumors around it and the adamant armor of cold.
See, that's another one that's pretty appealing to.
There is a thought that occurred to me that perhaps they might be part of the God of Winter.
Might be part of healing him.
Yes.
Or they might be like he might have them. Is that what you're saying?
No. We know that the God of Winter is wounded. We know that the bones of the blades of Bone and Flame, the blades of Bone and Flame are made of the hacked up remains of the God of Summer. It is possible that the injuries that the God of Winter sustained during the Death of Seasons, perhaps it lost a limb that was turned into the Shadow Blade.
Oh.
Or the adamant armor. That is a possibility. I don't know how accurate or reliable that idea is, but it's a possibility, and one that should be considered.
I'm not interested in pissing the god off that
We should
Try
probably
and
have those things before we go back, just in case.
They could be a component to healing it.
Well, you wouldn't want to open it and get in there, and then have it open for things to get in there and get at them.
Right.
Well, and
What
I
about
mean,
the blood of everlasting spring?
That is one that I was going to speak of. The god within the font is either healing or dying. and it is doing so. Wait. We need heal. The Blood of Everlasting Spring and the Chalice of Balance are the only two artifacts that have true healing powers, as far as I can tell. They are ones we definitely want to consider.
At this point, Cassius kind of perks up a little bit. Like, could it wake the dead?
I don't suspect so.
He says, what if we were to combine the chalice with the Blood of Spring?
I had not considered that path, but I'd be curious. But the results of such an experimentation.
He goes, and he kind of like, you see he reaches for in his cloak for his ornate dagger, the unfinished one, and he kind of like grabs at it for a sec, but he keeps it tucked in, and kind of like wipes his head where the bandana is, and he goes silent.
Personally, I have more faith in the restorative powers of the Blood of Everlasting Spring than I do the Chalice. But, as I said, the Chalice lies in Millen, and I know right where it is and how to get it. Or I have suspicions on how to get it. The Blood of Everlasting Spring, I have no idea where it may be. All reliable witnesses indicate that someone ingests the blood and then is immediately killed by dragons.
What?
After that,
That's not an artifact.
no one can find it. No one can find it until someone next stumbles across it.
That's not an artifact at all.
It's dragon bait.
And he, at this, Cassius goes, we know where there's dragons.
That'd be a good place to start.
We could start there.
Where?
Where
Herbert's asking where. I don't think you guys ever.
The canyon.
we when we passed it, we heard a dragon roaring earlier.
Oh,
heading
the
from
Sunless Ravine.
Sunless Ravine. And he's like, we could try there first. We know that dragons attack the users. Who's not to say that they're protecting the blood there?
That is a smart idea. Dragons are attracted to the blood when someone is using it. Why would they not be attracted to the blood when it lays dormant? We find dragons, we may find
Maybe
the
we
blood.
shouldn't go for that yet.
I was like, you're saying you want
Let's do that
to
last.
steal this blood from
After
the
we
dragons
get the blades
that
of
might be
fucking up
protecting it.
things, then we'll go kill dragons.
Well, I think to bring a god back, we're gonna need more than just the chalice. I think we're gonna need a chalice and the blood.
But I don't think the first thing we do is bum rush the dragon.
No, we don't. But
I don't think.
I think
That's
we'll
not
need
where
both.
this journey begins.
So,
And I stress the fact both.
The users from
would the city of
cold
Wallace
magic
be the highest
also
place
seems
of
important in case this
That's
guy
the
is an
most
educated
wealthy.
guy.
Fuck shit up.
Yeah.
and
In case this
learning?
guy's gonna have their.
I mean, do any of these
Very
other
clumsy
cities
way of
have
breaking
extensive
them.
libraries that we could?
They do.
Well, no, I mean
They
that
do,
seems like an
but
important
they're
thing.
like-
your
Your
suspicion
suspicion
is that
they finally find Bigfoot.
Walasp has such an abundance of resources that
They're gonna.
everyone has all kinds of time for
It
like
just seems like-
scholarly bullshit.
Because like,
Yes.
An important addition.
is it Mino?
Venom's
Psych,
Venom.
but it'll be psyched to be.
That's the slave city, right?
No, that's
Millen
the
is-
Grimir.
Oh, Millen is. I thought the slave city was the southernmost.
No, it's
So we're
I was reading,
still closest to
background
Wallace
information.
right now, right?
I would
We're still
imagine there's
closest
something
to
in the Pillars of
Wallace.
Iron. That's the only other point of interest.
That's what I've been doing over here.
No,
I've been
we are, like-
skimming over.
We're like over in here. Wallace was way up here, and we went down through here.
So which one are we close to?
We're
Millen.
close to
Millen.
Millen. We're like, you know, a few days from Millen, I think.
and fight it?
You really
You
want
know what
to?
you should do?
I wanna
You should
fight
make a
one of
page
those.
of your map.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea.
We have to go back.
Somebody
Are we
switched
past
to
the
it.
line yet? Or is that still in the future?
No, we
It's
passed
still
it.
like there's
Okay.
there's several days.
Oh.
This is like 3 days later.
Cut to 4 days later.
I almost think that we should go to
There goes our compass.
one of the cities and gain more knowledge about the other artifacts before we actually take possession of an artifact. I don't want to march
But
into
we're
a
gonna be
city
so
with
close to
possession
this
of
one.
artifacts.
Something.
I think it's
That's
more of
what
like a
we should
time
do.
thing. Like we know there's one in Millen. We can go
Near
get that
Millen.
one.
Well, there is
Herbert,
And
is-
Herbert can
is
search
the
for
way
the
we're
next one we
getting
wanna
the
do
chalice
is there a
over time.
a legal way, or after we get it, are we gonna have?
Are we
heat
getting
on
chased
us?
out of the city?
That depends on how you go about it.
Dave. Oh, what?
When Herbert
I fail
originally
rolls. Don't pick me.
when Herbert originally explained the job to you, he expressed that he wanted to get these artifacts by any means necessary. If they could be gotten legally, fine. But if they could not obtain them legally,
Also fine.
What is his?
Fine.
Is there extradition between the cities?
not really.
Okay, so his plan is to get him and just run them all back to his house.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
So this
I guess that makes
What
sense.
does that look, Chase?
this artifact is in the city.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought you said near it. Okay.
Oh yeah, I thought
He said he knows exactly where it is.
Would you like me to refresh your memory?
Is there a decent library in the
Would
city?
you like me to refresh your
In the
memories?
slave city,
Yeah.
they're very scholarly.
Well, but
I don't know.
there's-
Probably.
there's
They're
people-
enormous cities.
There's
Yeah.
got to be more people.
So when Herbert originally hired you guys,
Or
he
somebody he
explained that
knows, maybe.
the Chalice of Balance was in the possession of someone named Gezret Ben-Hun. He's a Goliath and a loyal enforcer of the city's ruler,
Oh, boy.
Overlord Gralstaff.
Enforcer.
Yes.
So it's in the possession of a man who is
The enforcer, of
enforcer.
the city's, like, the head guy in the city.
yes.
Oh,
So if something needs to be done, they call him, and he's holding this
so
chalice.
if
being all
something needs to be
badass.
done, like, don't let
like
7
stab somebody in the
guys-
face. Yeah.
7, well, what's our total group? 11? Including everybody? Don't let 11 people steal the chalice.
Yeah, he most likely has the entire guard at his command then, right?
Slave soldiers. He probably has,
All right.
similar to the way Overlord Gralstaff has a bunch
We
of
go
loyal
in like
enforcer
Daenerys
dudes.
Targaryen.
This guy has a bunch of loyal enforcer dudes.
We
for
just
him.
free those
We need
slaves.
dragons.
Great.
Start breaking chains.
Download
Daenerys
Breaker
Targaryen.
Chain sounds good.
We go in like Daenerys Targaryen.
Are we
I
gonna
don't
get an
know.
army of slaves, but we'll free them and we'll get some
So-
names and whatnot?
I like you
A
and you
slave
if you are
revolution.
master of none.
What if we pour the blood of the everlasting spring into the chalice of balance?
That's
Chalice
what
They
we were
of-
gave
talking
you 10 minutes ago from Kyle.
I wasn't listening. I was like half
He was
listening.
reading the background
Anytime a
information.
name was thrown, I would listen.
He was finally reading
And
the
then
background
you hit it
information.
with
No, I read it,
the
but
dark blade.
nothing stuck.
Oh, it was you that
because
said
nothing
it.
meant anything to me.
Somebody's
It's like,
background
oh,
information
cities
said, if I'm being honest,
I know
no,
nothing
didn't
about,
get background
or-
information.
No, not if they have
That's
relevance.
not me. I
So-
totally know it all.
No, I think that we need
Do you
both
know what the Font of
artifacts
Shadows
to
is?
heal
That's
him.
where
sure.
we
Oh, yeah.
are, or where we have left recently. And it's where the winter guy is.
Don't think we should use the dagger.
This is in character, of course.
What's that?
I
This is
don't
just
think
my
we should use the
character.
teeth on the walls.
Do
I
not.
think the teeth are the best option. They have been known to dig.
They have been known to dig.
It's hard to argue with that.
Don't
I
cut
mean,
yourself while you're handling them.
Do we
They've
know
been
how
known to.
deep these walls
Do
go?
they have Kevlar gloves in this world?
50 feet.
Comparable stuff.
Is that what
I want those.
We.
In the
Is
next
it
year.
really?
Are
I was like, I know it was in the back.
With
Husk
magic.
I guess like
Some-
leather
there was
gloves
something
would be
about-
there's
similar.
husk hands. You could get
How
like
deep
a
do
hand
these
like
walls go?
peel the
50 to
bones
60
out.
feet.
told us
pull
that.
it.
Based on how thick the walls in the
Husk
city
hands are
are, we
mostly
don't really
brown.
know.
Okay, that's and I knew he had mentioned it. I just
So Herbert
Jerky.
Herbert says there are also additional concerns we must consider, and he pauses like for dramatic effect.
I guess.
What's this guy's, I guess, personality
IQ?
like? I mean,
He's a
is
very
he,
eccentric
is he a
old man.
professor, or is he like
He's
is
a
he
known-
Radagast?
He's a known scholar in our.
I mean, is he
archaeologist.
Radagast?
Did you say a known or a gnome?
A known.
Okay.
Known.
I mean,
no
is he
gnomes in
Radagast or
No,
like he's not that crazy?
he's not a crazy old man. No,
Okay.
There's no bird poop on him.
He's kind of a boring old man.
he's a boring old historian guy
Okay. So
That
he's,
kinda
he's
like-
just a historian.
that kind of is in love with the sound of his own voice.
He gets
and hires
geeked
people
up
to dig stuff up in the
about
desert for him.
Stupid.
Well, I mean,
Is he arrogant?
Probably a little bit, but not maliciously so.
Okay.
in the good way.
eh,
So
in an
well,
annoying way.
In an annoying way.
Cardin supports going for.
He's arrogant because he knows he's smarter than you.
Has anyone had a
Like-
dealing with this enforcer?
He can't be bothered
Sorry,
with
dude.
stupid people.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
No,
Feel
you're good.
that?
Has anyone had dealings with this enforcer in our group before?
Has anyone had dealings with Gezret Ben-Hun in Millen?
I don't believe I've ever been.
Domino would not have.
If you put him in a lineup, I wouldn't be able to pick him out.
Okay. He's a
I
Goliath.
don't think I've ever been to
A
Millen.
Okay.
lineup of Goliaths that look mean.
I strongly have avoided Millen. The slaves slavery is not a thing.
Millen is
agree.
known to prey on tribes.
Yeah, Millen
Besides-
probably isn't in a place where any of us would have been. Unless
I looked kind of at Kendara and Herbert and asked if either of them have had dealings with him.
Not personally.
No.
So we have not.
Or,
none of us have ever.
Are there like
Interact
tales of
with
his deeds?
Herbert?
Met
No, the enforcer. Is he slain like
You guys written
scores
12
of men?
labors?
Like,
Did I?
No. I mean,
Can I make a save point and stab Metris and see if he is an essential PC or NPC here?
no.
Okay.
Well, I think we just need a head for Millen.
No, you
then.
can't
I
stab
think
him, or
that's-
no, you did
None
not
of you have
stab
really,
him.
none of you have really ever been to Millen,
That's true, I guess.
so you don't really know a lot. I mean, Millen's kind of got a bad reputation because they're the only city that practices widespread slavery and preys on tribes living nearby to enslave them. So
Right.
he's probably not a cool dude.
That's yeah. Context clues.
He's probably
I
not
mean-
the most you could guess at is he's probably not a cool dude.
I mean, I'm not.
And most of the stories of Millen, like the early days, they involve a lot of cannibalism and a lot of clawing your way to power over the corpses of people who had power.
Cool.
I mean,
I would
I
imagine
say,
most
I
people-
say.
Millen-
Oh, sorry. Go
Millen's-
ahead.
I was just gonna say I would imagine most people labeled enforcers aren't really cool people.
Well, I say fuck it. We just go in there, blades drawn, and take the thing.
Well, I think we should try and get it the other way first.
Yeah, but that's not the personality of the city. That's not gonna work.
But the getting out's gonna be much harder.
I fought in your general
We're gonna fight
direction.
past an army of slaves and then fight past them again.
Yeah,
we
but
only
we-
have to fight past them once if we snag
We
it first.
kill this guy.
I
You
know
know-
we are the slave owners.
Is this Riddick? Do you keep what you
Uncle
kill in
Crow
Millen?
style.
Yeah.
Shit, that's a good plan then.
See, I'm just
All
saying, we
right.
go in there, blades drawn.
But
and
we
fuck
get close
this
to him
guy
before
up.
But that
draw.
won't necessarily
Yeah.
stop other people from trying to kill you for it.
Factual.
And you all know that.
Yeah, but I
that
mean,
Millen,
what's stopping him from killing
Pause.
the enforcer right now?
Pause.
The threat of death.
You all know from like
We just
common
killed
history that Millen's furnaces of creation and water purifiers produce much less material than the other cities. Like this city is the polar opposite of Lost.
So it's
There's much more of a struggle for resources.
This is a small.
so
Brita
here's the way I
What?
envision
This is a small Brita factory.
Yes.
We walk in there, we kill this enforcer. These people aren't killing the enforcer right now. So if we kill him, they're going to view us as
I would
echelon
imagine
above him.
I would imagine there's some people that hold loyalty to him.
Or it
though.
erupts into chaos as everyone tries to take like the
Or it
power.
erupts into chaos. But I'm just saying there may be
Take out the
a
mountain.
level of respect there that we just killed him. I'm
Probably.
just speculating. I mean, I don't think it.
Probably. Like a little, I
There's
would imagine.
with a power structure.
We
like
could start a
dic-
class
dictatorship,
struggle.
The people at the top are going to be very interested in keeping him in power because he empowers them
Right.
with keeping the target off their backs.
If
Right.
But if we could
But I
use,
mean, how
if we
quickly
could use
can
one
they
of them,
react?
if we could use one of them to assist us getting what we want
Instead
without
of
putting a
killing them?
target on our back,
And then we
I
say,
think
hey,
it would work
the
better.
city's yours when we leave.
we're coming from the wrong angle.
I mean, do we just?
you guys are going top down. We got to go bottom up. If there's a
That's-
class war in Millen while we're there, the last thing that guy's thinking about is his chalice. There's
Well,
so much going on. He's
that's
beating
another- that
people
is a-
down.
that's what I
you know
mean.
what I mean?
is
We
take-
gotta sow dissent in the
Yeah, but
city.
do we destroy a whole city
We
basically to get
Yes!
one chalice?
No.
We're changing the world.
We're going to save the
guys-
world by
that
destroying
is so
Millen.
us.
You gotta break eggs to make an omelet.
That is so us.
I'm just saying that there's
no.
got to be one of these lords that's not
Do you
as
think-
taken care of as the others are, and we might be able to speak to their interests.
I mean, but this chalice is obviously probably the most valuable thing in the city.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they're not going to just give it up.
No. But I'm
Herbert plants
saying
I mean,
His
do you
first
want
offer
to
would be
go in there
20
and
grand for it.
threaten to kill the guy?
Yeah, we do have.
I'm
Or
not
you
saying
give
we
him
do have a
cha-
lot of
chalice?
money.
Yeah, 'cause that's probably the only way.
Shush. Did you just say Herbert plans to offer him 20,000 gold?
Oh,
That's
We
going to
should
be his
get-
opening offer.
We should probably.
What's
Let's
his max?
try this first.
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
That's what Jake said like
I want to sow
10
dissent.
minutes ago.
well, he.
I'm on the
And
sow
now you
dissent
changed
train
your
now.
mind?
But my
This
point
plan
is
sounds
our
cooler.
plan B should be
Sewing
kill everyone.
Manipulate the,
Oh.
the power structure.
Well, we can do
somehow.
that through a show of force, though.
Once we have fucking artifacts, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
but
I
we
think
don't have
buying
any.
it
This
should
is-
be the
this is
first
number
option.
one.
Just to like,
You don't have to know how to use
So
it.
we're all on
You
the
just
same
have to
page?
know how to hold it.
you guys aren't gonna get no cards describing
That's-
what these artifacts do. You're not gonna get to
Y-
make
exactly.
arcana checks
We need
or
to know how to
identify
use it.
checks. You're going to have to figure out what they do and how to use them.
I like
Perfect.
it.
But if we don't know how to use it, the people of Melon that we're trying to
Hey, cousin
intimidate
Jemba.
also
use a sword.
don't know how to use it. So if we hold it confidently, there's a good chance they think we do know how to use it, and we say, "Stay back, or I will use this."
And some of it's going to be obvious, like if the blades of bone and flame, like you stab someone with them and they light them on fire. Like the blood, every story about the blood of everlasting spring,
Gets you eaten by dragons.
you drink
Yes.
it and it replaces your blood.
So
If we could get the blood first, we
Yeah.
could put it in his chalice and he could drink it. And then
So-
dragons will kill him for us. He'll never expect it.
we're going after the thing that's going to have
So-
dragons chase us. Wonderful.
Herbert continues talking and says,
Wow.
"There are also
Unless
additional
that
concerns we
removes
must
the property
consider."
of it attracting dragons.
And he pauses for dramatic effect. And
And
he
he
says,
just like basically he's like immune to everything.
Clint's talking.
"I don't want us to get derailed with like planning for the next 3 scenarios before we finish this one. That's all." I like the back and forth, but so Herbert pauses for dramatic effect and says, "The god within the font is either healing or dying. This is known. We must be aware of the fact that whichever it is doing so slowly. We must also consider the possibility that the font itself may be performing the healing or preventing the death. If we break open the font, we could further injure the god by removing or damaging the ancient arcane systems preventing it from passing from this world. I have no knowledge of how we may be able to determine the nature of the font in relation to the status of the health of the god of endless winter, but I feel at least that we should understand fully that we are meddling in things truly beyond our knowledge." So, alright. That's that. Just wanted to get that out before we all started discussing.
But I think we're all in agreement now. We're gonna try and buy it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna try to buy it and then
Try to buy it first.
like completely.
And that's his
disrupt the
opening
entire,
offer
like,
too. We can
That's
go
his-
higher.
That's his opening offer.
socioeconomic structure of the
Dom was willing to pitch in $1,000 or so. Like, I mean,
I feel like this is
if
valuable to
need
him though,
be,
because I assume people are trying to
versus
poison
die.
Yeah, I'll give
We
you
won't
pretty
die
odd.
though.
That's what I'm saying is if we go in there.
If I get in a fight and don't live, I'll die.
That's what I'm saying is if we were to go in there like guns
Generally,
blazing,
don't live.
that puts
We're
a
gonna
target on
buy
our
it.
back.
Yeah.
Versus if we have someone, a patsy,
Herbert.
we just let him go and.
I think that we.
I really think we're gonna be able to buy it.
Is that something I'm ever actually
I-
going to
I
know,
don't.
or like is that? So is that
It's an
something we're actually ever
invaluable
going to
item
know?
that
What you
has-
just
That's-
shared?
Yeah, he's got tumors
There's
all
no
over
such
his
thing
body.
as
okay.
invaluable though.
That's the only reason I shared it.
Okay, yes
He-
there
you will,
is.
you will see him. He will have tumors all over his body. And
There's
it
a
will become
price
very
on
apparent
everything.
why he got the chalice in the first place.
For him, there may be because like
So
he
he's
doesn't
not
know
gonna
we're using
Right.
it anymore. Right.
What we can do
If it's just like, ooh, this is fancy.
is promise
Right.
him
Oh, I own an ancient artifact.
when we get
This
the
is
blood,
worth at least 15
You can
grand.
have the
to
dragon
buy
bait.
it.
He can have
If
the
he doesn't
dragon
know it's
bait.
a key
we will
to
pour it in the chalice.
Open
and
an
we drink.
ancient
I know you
tomb
got a
that
good thing going, but would you rather be
contains
attacked by
treasure.
dragons?
Potentially a key.
But if he knows that, we're
And like,
dragons are
and like to
That's why
be
we should
clear,
keep that secret.
the people that drink it and get hunted by dragons, they survive for decades.
And then they're hunted by dragons?
No, the dragons hunt them, but they just survive for decades.
So it takes the dragons decades to find them?
Well,
Or
they
kill them.
hide from the dragon.
No,
I think you guys are
Right.
missing the point. They live for decades.
Yeah.
with dragons hunting them.
Yeah.
That sounds great. That means that chalice gives them like awesome abilities to fight dragons for decades.
Also, the teeth of autumn, little known fact, great for shaving.
Like, no.
Finest cut you ever
They're
It's a good
literally,
thing I can't grow
they're
facial
literally
hair.
like jagged, like
You will never have to
Hashtag
shave
the
again.
more you know.
claws and talons and teeth.
Da, 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 da.
They are cracked and chipped and not at all.
This will be the best shave of your life. The
So-
last one. you'll
So
ever
let's
need.
head there.
It's the 30th of 11th month. 11th month, 4032 DOS. 30th of 11th month. 11th
11th man.
You pass out of the blasted lands around the font, and at some point you hit the 200-mile mark from the font thing, and you stop having dreams, and you notice the husks pieces stop moving. You're in the deep desert, and 16 days pass uneventfully. The air is still, the heat oppressive and dry, but your supplies are adequate, you're all in good health. A wagon wheel cracked a day ago against a concealed rock. And you replaced it because you know what you're doing, you're not idiots. Rabid desert lion harassed your party, you killed it. It's a rabid desert lion. Again, this is mundane threats. This is not anything to get worked up about. Crowsank developed a limp when a scorpion startled it. Grit gets beneath your armor and in your boots. All the mundane bullshit inconveniences that really aren't worth. Let's make skill checks for.
Remember that.
You persevere. You're hardened. It's now the 30th of 11th month, 4032 DOS. You're in Square N26, nearing the lands of the Octan tribe. Kandara's cousin Akka is leading the caravan at the moment. Your party has opted to travel a little during the hottest part of the day in an effort to reach the area of the font quicker. It's about 2 in the afternoon. You're traveling. You see a rock formation growing on the west horizon. It's not really a formation. It's kind of like, it's not flat there. Something's there. A few hours pass and you come upon what appears to be a large fire pit. It's sort of a square hole dug in the hard brown earth. It's about 10 feet across. It's about 4 or 5 feet deep, and in the bottom of it, it's just ashes. The hole is sort of fenced in by these four large flat slabs of stone. It looks like someone went to the effort of making sure these were all even, rather than just like sat there. They're worn and cracked with age, and you can see that there were carvings on them that have worn away a bit over the years. They're very hard to make out right now. The wagons come to a stop near the slabs of stone, and Kandara and her cousins step off the wagons and kind of approach the pit. Kandara says loud enough for you all to hear, "Here's where we will build a pyre and lay our family to rest." She's kind of teary-eyed a little bit, but her cousins-in-law are openly weeping as she says to you guys, "Please unload them from the wagon and lay their coffins here on the western stone while we prepare the pit." So you guys are unloading the coffins and kind of stacking them where she directed and stuff. Metris and the cousins are kind of hanging out with her. Kandara looks a little tired, a little angry, but she's not crying. She's just kind of staring silently at the pit for a good long while. Metris and her cousins are kind of standing behind her, and she kind of approaches each of them and takes their hand in her face and kisses each cheek and does it to all 4 of them. She turns back and kind of kneels down. Oh gosh, golly gee, I fucked that up. So she kisses each of their cheeks, and she kneels on the north stone. There's north stone, east stone, west stone, and south stone. She produces a leather satchel and a rough stone and some pieces of unidentifiable metal and half a dozen colored powders. She kind of arranges these things around. Her cousins bring some flasks of lamp oil from the wagons, while Metris sets down 4 fired clay bowls before her. Once the bowls are in front of her, she starts filling each of the bowls with different combinations of metal shavings, powders, and dyes. And when they're full, she puts everything away and kind of sets the bowls aside. She motions for her cousins to start putting the sealed coffins in the pit. They kind of try to arrange them in the pit in layers, kind of. In each layer, they kind of squirt lamp oil all over everything. This is where we were. Kandara looks a little tired and angry, but she's not really crying anymore. From a pouch at her belt, she produces a little band of metal, a ring. Looks like it's heavily tarnished silver. And then sets it on a coffin. And then Metris does something similar. He produces a gold ring from his belt pouch, and he sets it on a different coffin. And then her cousin Jemba does the same thing with a different coffin. Metris and the cousins are openly sobbing now, and they're kind of huddled together with their hands on each other's shoulders. Kandara is just stone, still and silent, and just staring angrily at the pit, mean mugging it. She steps forward and produces a flint and steel, and she says a couple quiet words. If you want to make a perception check to hear them, we can do that.
16.
You think you make her saying out
24.
You two make her make out her saying, "You're all at peace now." And that lightens my heart. No more wounds and hunger to torment you. I envy you. My road seems long and lonely. Fuck this fucking desert. I aim to kill it or die trying. And she strikes flint to steel and whoosh. This blast of heat comes at everyone. It's super. It's like well over 100 degrees right now, but it's more heat. Metrus and her 3 cousins pull themselves together and they grab the 4 clay bowls and they start handing them her. She tosses the contents of the first bowl in the flames and they turn green. And then it goes back to normal. She tosses the next bowl in, they turn yellow. After a little while, they turn normal. The third bowl, they turn brown. And the fourth bowl, they turn white. And the 5 of them just stare at the flames until they return to normal color. And then they sit down on the slabs of stone and just watch the coffins and bodies burn. It takes hours, the rest of the day. Just agonizingly hot flame burning and burning and burning, lamp oils all over the place. Eventually, there's nothing but a fresh layer of ash in the pit. And then Kandara stands up. She approaches you, the 7 of you and Herber, and says, "It's done. We're going to sleep now. When we wake, we'll begin our journey to Millen to claim the Chalice of Balance." She stumbles away to her wagon. Metrus wanders over to you guys, looking exhausted, and hands each of you a pouch with 500 gold, which was your fee for taking her to the ancestral lands of the Millen. He lays down on a bedroll outside of her wagon, and the cousins do the same on their wagons. Yeah, we can do a little more. It shouldn't take too long.
By the way, if 20,000 gold doesn't buy this chalice, if we each pitch in just over 1,400, we can get it up to 30,000.
But will we have to buy any other artifacts?
Well, okay, but we've made quite a bit of money already.
It's true.
But I mean,
1,400 each isn't that
the
bad
thing,
for getting.
The thing is, though, the only way we're gonna get money is if he pays us. So it's basically just us waiting for him to pay us more. He can always up the price himself.
That's true.
I'm
if
sure
we
we'll
get
do
it and he
things-
pays us 2,000 each, like
I'm sure
it's
we'll
an
do-
investment. We only make 600 on this one, if that's the case.
I'm
If
sure
he
we'll
run-
do
if he
other
runs out of
jobs
money,
for
we'll
other
consider
people.
it.
And is this guy gonna accept his checks? Like,
That is true.
They're
He
banks.
has like
They're banks
traveler's
in Millen.
checks. They might bounce. That's not my job to
If
know.
he taps out, we can offer some money, but like
I
let's not plan.
think
to be
we
like,
should-
we can give you money.
It's just
The badges.
Quit doing math over there.
Hide 'em.
I can't
We
stop.
don't want 'em to know our
I'm
skills.
gonna do the math. Might as well be for the game.
That's a good idea.
I think we should hide our badges.
Are we
I don't-
going into the city right now, or are we going to wait to do that till next session?
We're gonna do the city next session.
Okay.
I just have a little section that shouldn't take too long, and it'll provide a good stopping point.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna make note while we're kind of discussing real quick. I'd like to take the badges off because the less they know about us and our skills, the better.
Good idea.
Like as far as he knows, we're just desert dwellers.
Yep.
You know, he doesn't need to know that we're skilled
Badass.
badasses.
Unless
Did, no,
It
no.
helps
Did
that
I
am
did I get a
jagged.
different badge for winning?
No.
Okay,
Same gold.
I just making sure.
what if her dad's already got word to Millen? And we get there and we get jumped.
All right, you guys all need to shave your head before next session.
Nope. You know, there's a big problem
I remember
that
last time there was a
you
shaving
probably
back.
may or may not have
I
remembered.
remember that.
But
very
that shield
well.
that I had made,
What's that?
I just wanted to remind you. Of
We're
that.
burying that in the
missed
wagons in that sublayer of canvas where people can
I
hide.
had a shield made
You remember this? The
after
like
the games.
canvas sack that you can hide it in the bottom of the wagon.
I wasn't.
That's-
It's not a sack. It's what it is. It's like a curtain that you
I
just.
shouldn't remind you. Of
Oh,
that,
I was
but
gonna
had
say-
to.
I forgot
about that.
That's
What is
where
it?
his shield is staying.
He's got a shield that he had commissioned after the games
Yeah.
that fits his badge from the games right onto it.
Yep.
arrogance. It'll kill you every time.
No, my intention
Not
with having our
arrogance.
wagon set for that is, if Herbert wanted a place to hide, he could under there and drop the curtains, and then the trapdoor was to get into the wagon.
Oh, the trapdoor was to get into it. I was thinking it was
Into, out of,
Okay.
however, it's a door.
Right.
It works both ways.
Well, they don't always.
It goes both ways.
You know, sometimes they drop down and don't go back up.
Like dog doors.
So
this was like a rudimentary thing, so it's like just a peg
out
in a
of
hole.
character,
Like
at the
pull it out,
first,
drops down.
But then if you go in,
vendor
how do you
that
put
we
the
pass
peg
after
back
we
in the
walk
hole?
into the city,
It's
like
like
purchase
the whole-
an undescript population.
Like a screw almost kind of thing.
Just mark it down that it's done.
Yeah, well, when we get there,
It's fine. Just mark it down
I
that
got
it's
Pressure
done.
holds it in.
Yeah, I got you.
My point is like it's cheap.
indescript.
Yeah.
Not undescript. Indescript.
There's
Okay.
a hole you reach through and
All right. 3 days pass. It's now the 1st of 12th month, 4,032 DOS. It's around 7 in the evening. You're heading east towards Millen. In a few days, you'll enter the somewhat greenish and fertile land surrounding the city. But for now, you're still in the deep desert, and everything is brown and gritty and barren. You continue east. I think I said west earlier. It's east. And keep your eyes out for threats. You continue east and keep your eyes out for threats and that sort of thing. I've made perception checks on your behalf. There's nobody following behind you as far as you can tell. You up to the north, you can kind of see a little kind of like a smudge. Like it's hard to see what it is directly because there's a shimmer of heat haze everywhere, and you know it's lying on whatever it is. It's lying on the ground. Maybe one of you has a spyglass or something. Anyone have a spyglass? Anyone want to say they have a spyglass?
I have a spyglass.
All right.
I also have a spyglass.
So Turok and
If there would be a spyglass in an explorer's pack, then I might have a spyglass.
all right, Turok, Canathar, and Yui get out their spyglasses.
Everyone has them.
Metris has two. He's holding them together.
That's some new age shit right there.
You guys see that? It looks like there's a human male laying on the ground, either unconscious or dead.
Or
Can we tell that
A
it is
trap.
a
What
not
message
that is
does it
not a husk?
Oh yeah, it's obviously
and,
good.
and how far is this
I
then?
was-
Like a quarter mile? you
Yeah,
know?
like a quarter mile or something.
Okay.
Something like you can just walk over there and poke at him.
I bring it to everyone's attention then, and I say we should probably stop the caravan.
Wait, where is this in relation to us? Is this between
A quarter
us
mile
and
up the
city?
road.
There's
Yeah,
a
it's-
husk.
there's no road right now, but it's like someone's lying over there, like down the street.
Is it out of the way? I think is what
Is-
direction.
In the sense that walking like 5 blocks is kind of out of the way.
Can I borrow your spyglass?
It's not like
They go. You said you rolled perception.
Yeah.
For us. Can I check to see if there's like any like rocky outcroppings nearby? Like
it's flat. Like it's flat,
Flat.
from here to Millen.
okay.
Well, I think we should go check this guy out. I volunteer.
just-
I'm going.
My first suspicion is trap. You know, because we're in the desert. Like someone laying there, get attention. You know, there's like pushed
Yeah,
over caravans or rocky outcroppings.
No bullshit. There is.
They could
There's
be
a
very
man in the
insane.
middle of nothing.
It's probably just someone like Herbert who's like, I'm going to the desert. And then they're like, shit,
They
it's
got
hot
a
out
half
here.
a mile
It's
out
really
of
hot
the
out here. I shouldn't have walked.
And then they collapsed.
So Turok,
Somebody come with me.
wanders
I'll
that
go
way.
with you.
I'll go.
Let's
Turok
go.
and Yui. You know what?
Everyone. We all
Metris
went.
goes. He's concerned about the possible threat, and Kandar goes. She's concerned about someone possibly being injured.
Shit, everyone goes then, I'd say.
Well, who's with the wagons?
Let's
The
just
wagons go north.
We circle them up.
It's just this slowly moving circle of like wagons.
Keep them moving. We don't want to stop.
If we stop, we'll die. It's like a shark. So everyone kind of follows
If these
Turok
wagons
over to
go
this.
under
this
10 miles
person.
an hour, they'll explode.
Everyone kind of follows Turok over there. You approach the body and see that it is a kind of like a younger human male laying like on the ground, like not face down, but like his face is like planted right into the ground. He appears to be alive, but he's kind of breathing shallow, rapid breaths. Around his face on the ground is like it looks like maybe it's like dried vomit or something. Like something came out of his mouth and splattered everywhere. A lot. It happened several times. He's got the kind of forgettable, soft-looking features of someone that was born and raised and lived in the cities. Weak chin, chubby cheeks, no scars, short but not shaved brown hair, brown eyes. He's kind of wearing lightweight leather armor with like a dyed blue vest and kind of like a brand spanking new looking like long knife on his belt. Nothing is like cracked and worn like you guys are all cracked and worn, and your gear is all cracked and worn. Like he looks like he's wearing like a slightly like more militant version of like Herber's outdoorsman gear. Like this is
Like he bought it to go.
like he bought it and then he immediately went out to the desert. Like on the back of his hands you can see a stud and another stud. And he's got like a leather strap that looks like it might be reins, like clenched in one of his hands, but like there's chewing marks on, like it's just a strap and there's like gnawing marks on it, like something gnawed through them and walked away. And you can see that there's like Crosank tracks, like the clawed prints of Crosank, like on the ground, like they kind of wandered, like kind of back and forth, kind of around him and over him, and like then headed south.
I guess
I spent
Poke?
Can I
Can
give
I
him
poke
some
him?
water? I guess, yeah, let him poke him first, and then...
I mean, I'm like shake him, like put a hand on him. Just speak to him, like.
Make a medicine check for me.
That's a natural 15. I don't know what my bonus is, but
He's definitely alive. Maybe dehydrated and that sort of thing. You don't really know how long he's been out here in the sun. He doesn't have any obvious injuries. If we were talking game mechanics, he's stabilized at 0 hit points.
I hold my hand over him and I say,
Memes.
Are you using a stun to heal him?
yes.
oh, if you go down, this is gonna be rich.
This is gonna be the greatest meme.
99.
Nice. He's better than ever.
So 7th level spell slot.
It's 1d4 plus
He doesn't need one
Yeah.
before.
all the d4s.
He's probably at full health. Unless he's another adventurer like us.
This is the god of eternal winter.
So
Oh, what?
he gasps. Cassie's magic flows into him and he gasps. He looks around and his eyes are huge and wide and white. And he immediately goes for the knife on his belt.
And I put my hand on his hand.
It's gone.
Wait, where are you? Where am I? Don't kill me!
Whoa.
What are you doing
Hey.
in the desert?
That's Domhnall. Domhnall has a big belly laugh at that.
We're not here to kill you. We just want to talk. Want to assess the situation, like what's going on.
We always bring the people
Why
we
are
want
you
to
out
kill
here
back
alone?
to life first.
What happened to your Crosanks?
My name's Timon. I'm from Millen. I was staying in Meccanan. It's a little town south of Millen. There's a girl there.
Were you going
There
on your
always
way
is.
to seeing her or from seeing her?
Well, I'm trying to
Trying to see her.
see her, and I was out hunting Megas.
1,200 gold.
I was out hunting Megascorpion. I wanted to kill a Megascorpion. Or like maybe a Norvest.
On your own? Like on your own?
We know this is like something that one person shouldn't even.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Chomp.
one
Yeah.
novice
Let's say I
person.
read the background info. What CR would that be?
4.
4, both of them.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
And this guy's level
Let's-
0?
I mean,
friend, I hindsight is 20/20, but I advise you never do that. No, I don't care what.
I can handle
All right,
it.
stand up. Swing that sword one time.
Can you swing that sword?
I
No,
He
I
just
said
shakes it at you
swing.
like this.
stick to killing, like an old
he takes
infirm
a pretty good
Crosank.
like it's a short sword. He takes a pretty good kind of gets on the balls of his feet and kind of like his speed's not like as fast as maybe you guys, but
It's not bad. It's not bad. But
he could do some damage with it.
these are not creatures you want to be messing with. Is
Is this for a girl? You're impressing this girl?
all of this is just for this girl?
You were dead for like.
I wanted to
A
prove
decent
that I
amount.
can handle things.
And that was worth your life.
I tell him, hold on, 1 second, and I walk to the wagon, and I get one of the hands, and I'm like, that's from a husk. You show her that.
I mean, mean,
Does he
It's
know what-
impressive.
Something
he
more
know what a
believable.
husk
I
would
hand
be?
him
It means you went to the font.
a box of daggers.
She'll like that.
box of
I
daggers.
say these
Hey,
are
those
some
are mine!
bandits.
Don't go with my daggers! I only have 6 wielded right now.
If
I
you
think
show
at
up
some
to a
point-
girl's house with a box of daggers, I think she's gonna be a little.
This
little
is it's like a
standoffish.
bouquet of roses or something, right? But no, at some point I think like I've started handing you too many daggers. You're putting them back in the box, thinking like
Oh, yes.
here. And
Carden's
then,
been listening to this stuff and what this kid's saying, and something's off about his story.
He's gay.
This
Arnie?
is probably a new movie.
Where'd you say you were from?
I'm from Millen originally, but I've been staying in Meknon. It's a little town south of Millen. There's a girl there, name's Tara.
I believe everything he says.
You don't roll the insight checks. I roll the insight checks.
It don't matter. I believe everything he says.
that's Dave rolling to see if Dave believes it or not.
Fair enough.
There's insight, and then there's Dave's insights inside.
I don't think an 8 will tell
How
me
do you
very
spell
much,
that?
so.
Town?
Dave's at work. I'm thinking.
I don't need you to
Okay.
tell me I know nothing.
I
Do I tell my boss to fuck off?
That's it.
Why do I say
Maybe
something about that in the
another.
background?
Maybe tomorrow.
Okay, can you tell me more about this magic? I've
ball.
never heard of this.
Ask me again
Can you tell me a little bit more about this? You say it's south of Millen?
Yeah. There
Heard
are
the
towns
name
all
Meknon.
over the place around the cities.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said town, I thought city. I was thinking in
Yeah.
here,
There are the
town
four.
was city and city
When I
was
say city, I mean one of the 4 walled cities. When I say town, I mean a smaller, probably.
like almost like a village.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like outskirts.
yeah. Okay.
Places that are close enough to enjoy the
City.
slightly more fertile area around the cities, but not big enough to really.
Make much of it.
Say that's a nice dagger you have there. Can I see it for a minute? I'll trade you for one of mine.
I mean, I just got this knife.
I have a pretty ornate obsidian dagger.
You're gonna trade away your obsidian dagger? This guy is probably.
I
It's
have
probably just a
4 of
normal
them.
dagger.
I have 4 of them. Just want to see what his is.
I'd really rather hang on to this one.
Is there something special about it, or is it something you just bought
I
to
mean,
impress this girl, Tara? You're telling us of.
I mean, I named it. and everything.
What's his name?
That's
Sasha?
what it is.
I'm not gonna tell you that.
Why not?
6
Everybody's daggers are
It's
named.
between me and my blade.
Everybody's blades are named.
How
Do you want me to go through
how
my
will it
box
be great if you
of
don't spread the
daggers?
name?
Hold your obsidian blade to his
I
neck
don't
and be
really-
like,
I
let
don't
me
really
see
like
the
this
blade.
position about me and my knife.
I'm getting frustrated. I'm gonna actually. Hey, Cassius. I am going to use.
Thieves can't.
Yes, thieves can't to
Takes
talk to
10
you.
times the normal conversation to convey a message. So I watch intently as you slowly do this.
Everyone just watching.
This
Nice.
What's
guys.
He's a rogue. I'm a rogue.
No, this is Timon, like watching you two just like.
Off.
Stare at each other.
I missed that.
He said this guy's off, and then went.
He goes, I missed that. This. Guys. Off.
And I kind of look back at him and I give the, like, obviously.
Just
Fight?
Not worth our time.
So,
Threat.
Come on, guys. We don't have time for this
most
bullshit.
likely.
Yeah.
Down
We saved his life. Let's just get out
loads
of
back
here.
up
Alright.
on the wagon.
yeah. Hey kid, you want to ride back to your village or what?
How old is this guy?
About 20.
Okay, we're gonna need. We're willing to
How
give
old
you a
are
ride,
we?
but I'm gonna need those.
We
I'm
don't-
gonna need those
I
weapons.
don't
We
know
don't
how
have
old
to
I
go
am.
anywhere.
You're a
we don't
battle
want to
master,
give him
right?
a ride.
Why?
What?
You're
Yes.
a battle master,
What if
right?
he's being hunted by dragons?
To
Size
me,
up
he
his
seems like a
combat
kid who fell
ability.
down in the desert.
I don't think so.
Like, competent. See.
I mean, he was He tried to. I don't think he's that confident.
How long have
I
you
don't
been
No,
know.
out
but what I
in
mean
the-
is like
out
you
in
can
the
you can
desert?
determine if someone's
I
like
don't know.
a thief type
day is it?
or
How do you not know?
Is that like a specific
4th
thing?
of
I can
11
do?
month?
you know if he's like
just
we-
dead.
kind
we're
of
not telling
dexterous
him
or if
that.
he's
Okay.
How
doing
would he
something
know
like
what day it is?
to hide
he
it,
was
you know?
almost dead.
I'm having a conversation.
I'm interjecting this conversation.
Okay, I'm done.
How would a dead man know what day
I'm
it
done.
is?
Okay. I'm done.
What's the last day you recall?
I don't know. We were. What day actually is it? I gotta.
That-
me,
exactly.
That's me asking this time. It's,
I was like, we're not gonna tell him what
it
day
says
it
we
is,
left,
but
I left
Still okay.
Mecnon around, I think, on the 31st
okay.
of 11th month.
So we didn't tell him what day it was, correct?
Right.
And he said he left on the 31st.
Okay.
Cool. That doesn't help me.
It's now the 1st of 12th month.
So he left yesterday.
No, he left 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Sorry.
Is it a 2-day walk to Millen?
Well, he had crow sinks.
Yeah,
Is
he
it
had
a 2-day Crowsank to
Yeah,
Millen?
he had a riding Crowsank, and he came from Mecnon, which he said
Oh.
was south of Millen. It's
Doesn't seem right.
it seems plausible.
Okay.
Dom was driving a wagon past you guys at this
Yeah.
point. He's fucking done with this.
Okay.
He has zero interest.
Like I said, do you want to ride back to your village or not, kid?
I mean, are you? Yeah, if you guys are heading that
He's
way.
from Millen, right?
Well, we're heading
Well,
that
right
way.
outside Millen, yeah.
What's that?
I mean,
Like
yeah,
outside outskirts
If
of
you don't
Millen,
mind
but
me,
yeah.
all I've got is like half a water skin here. If you don't mind feeding me a little bit, I'll try and carry my weight. You know, I'll help
Just
out.
ride on the wagon.
Okay.
Seems very like.
I'm gonna sit guard
Domino
and
does
watch
make
him.
sure that all his coin is on him
Okay. That's fine.
at all times.
same.
If he
I'm
joins
gonna
us.
keep a very close eye on Timon during this trip. And also,
I
I,
kinda
Look at him,
I
I'm
do
like,
ask
you
that
look a
he,
little on edge, man.
I do ask that he returns his weapons before he mounts the wagon.
I really want to give up my knife in the middle of the
Yeah,
desert.
but you were dead in the desert. You think you can do a better job protecting yourself than we can of you? With
I was
those
trying
with
to-
those weapons, you're going to be more harm than
I
good
was
out there.
the last thing I remember is trying to heal my Crowsank. It had twisted an ankle, and I mean, still
Correct.
probably fucked me up.
Correct, and the daggers aren't going to help at all. So I'm
So-
saying we lock them away. If we
I don't
get
think he's
into
that
some-
big of a threat. That
I don't think
that
he's that
seven of
big
us,
of a threat.
That 7, what, 10 of us can't beat this.
I know
guy into
exactly-
submission.
I'll attempt to make
Like-
him
like-
comply by offering him drugs.
Like
Do I see any
Until
evidence
he's in
of
it.
studs on
meta
him?
wise, I know
Yeah,
exactly
yes,
how
yes,
much
yes,
HP it
one
took
on
to
here,
bring him
one
back
here.
up.
Okay.
Meta wise, I know exactly how much HP it took to bring him back up.
That's true.
So I know that it's at least what, a 7th level spell. That doesn't heal us all the way.
That's true.
Well,
So-
he was unconscious at 0 hit points, so anything was
yeah.
going to. He had no obvious signs of injury. The injuries were more like
Heat fatigue.
the Luzhgao magic ravaging his body.
well, either way, my point is like our threat from him is going to be theft.
We have no reason not to trust him,
We have,
I'm still gonna watch
except
him.
some gut feelings.
You don't have to turn in your weapon.
Well,
That's
I
the
was trying
yeah,
to
the
talk to
reason-
him about it.
yeah,
Us
but
having no reason.
Well, he's
is the
gonna. We're
reason
gonna
not
ride
to
with him,
trust.
and we can talk about it.
You're
on the
your real, right?
No,
That's
I am.
Andrew.
Can't.
Real?
Carter.
Karner, okay. I think Yenril, Uriel for some reason.
Possible.
So. Yeah, go ahead and do what
No,
you need
I'm
to do.
good. I'm good.
I'm gonna kind of like whisper to what was it, Canathar, and kind of ask him to like size him up. And what do you think for, you know,
I guess I'd size him up.
he's got a battle master ability to he can determine
I'm
his
gonna
stat.
ask you
I
to
do
size him
so.
up. I'm gonna size him up.
No, what I mean is like he's got an ability
small,
where he can
yeah.
he can see if his
No, it was the more.
if
the
a score of
phrasing
his is
thing.
up or down,
Shit. How does that ability work?
he can pick one ability score. And
I don't
determine-
remember reading anything about that, but Kyle
I think it's the
seems to
level
think it's-
3 ability.
Let's
or-
check it out.
It might not be
Fighter,
one of the
Battle
things I've
Master.
taken.
If you're a battle
Know
master,
your
you
enemy.
should have it.
Starting at 7th level, you spend 1
Oh,
minute
7th.
observing and interacting with the creature outside combat. Learn information about its capabilities. So,
Starting at
no.
7th level.
I thought it was a 3rd level thing. My bad.
Okay.
Then disregard that.
I size him up and be like,
It looks.
looks like he
I gave him
looks
an
like a guy to
ocular pat
me.
down.
I thought it was something that you got when you went
He can
to
stab.
class.
He can't stab.
Oh, we saw that.
He showed you he could stab.
Kid's dangerous.
Could be. You never know.
I mean, man, check this out. Yeah, I'm good.
Did it look like he's wearing like a uniform or something?
No, just clothes and.
Well, when you said he was more militant, did you mean the dagger itself?
No,
was
just
more
like-
militant, or
Just
like
because he was.
like Herber's outfit is kind of like.
the yellow,
Herbert's
the man
wearing
in the
cloth.
yellow hat from Curious George.
What?
Like he goes out and buys this ridiculous outfit for adventuring, and it's this yellow suit. And everybody
That's
is
what
like,
Herbert
"Why is this guy dressed like this? Is that how Herbert is dressed?" It's like people are like, "That's not really how adventurers dress," but
It's-
sure,
it's
good
like-
try, buddy.
Yeah, it's kind of like noob adventure gear.
Yeah,
This guy's
and so
this
Timon
guy-
is more like.
he's wearing
you
actual
know,
armor.
he
and
went out
Yeah,
looking for
he actually
trouble.
went to an outdoor shop and was like, "This is what I'm looking to do."
He went to an outdoor shop and said, it looks like he went to an outdoor shop and said, get me one outside gear set.
You said he's got like a chubby face.
Yeah, it's just like the like most people that lives in like people
The well fed.
well fed. Yeah, he's got well fed.
So like nobility chubby face or just city dweller in general chubby face?
City dweller and I have unlimited access to.
I feel like
this-
I feel like we're worrying too much about this guy. It's just a kid.
I don't think so.
Yeah, like Domino's.
I think he's just a kid. if we're this worried about him that we're wasting all this time, why don't we just leave him here?
That's
Right?
what I
At the
want to
city.
do.
Like if we're taking him, I don't think there's anything to worry about. But if
Thanks,
there's something
bye.
to worry about, just let him be here.
We helped him out quite a bit. I mean, he was probably dead.
Yeah.
Could he survive a walk back to his village?
Is there a reason not to take him though?
No, there's no reason he doesn't pose a threat.
Us as people, would we not pick up somebody that's in the middle
Oh,
of the desert
Somebody
on their own?
dressed like
I would help
goddamn
somebody.
would.
Threat
A
perception I got
20-year-old
from him.
kid in the middle of the desert on their own. If we can help them, why don't we help
You're like, all right, you're not dead. See ya. That's kind of fun.
We're leaving this city, and
have
he's
fun
like
dying
half a mile
slowly
further
now.
dead.
Domino's a speck by now. In the horizon.
Turok did offer to give him a ride.
Alright.
You
I
know, we
I
brought
offered
you
to
back
give a
to
ride
life.
twice. He
You
wants
were
a ride.
almost
He can have
dead.
a ride.
Have fun dying slower now. You know, that's what I think if we just left him.
He's on the wagon. We can size him up all we want.
Turok
On
already
the goddamn
invited
wagon.
him. I'm keeping watch on him.
Okay.
I thought we
All
were
right.
doing this like while we're moving.
He's like a vampire.
Once you invite him into your house, that's it.
He's in. I already
He's-
invited him.
He could never remove him from the wagon. He's bolted off.
He's like bed bugs.
We just gotta burn the wagon with him inside.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We never named my crochet.
All right. So you got a new party member.
What?
Kind of.
Can we see his stats?
No.
Come on.
Can we see his name? We already know his
Timon.
name.
You want to know what stud he has?
Yes. He has
Wounds.
2 studs.
No way. Cool. What about the other one?
It's got a second level slot though.
Can
Oh
Can I-
wait, this
can I
kid
know
has a
what
second level.
Can I
You know
know
what?
what
I
his
think he
dagger
died
name
in
is?
this.
Sleep with a second level slot.
Can I know what his weapons' names are?
No, he won't tell you that.
Not everyone names their weapons. Either.
His weapon's name is Bounty Taker, and he's after us.
My weapons' name are Kanathar's dad.
And I think that's a good point to stop.
All right.